Mercedes has proven that electric cars can be gorgeous and stylish. My EQS is the finest vehicle I've ever had. And some of my friends have even asked, what's it really like to have an electric Mercedes? Is it easy to own and operate? Is it easy to charge? Well, it's as easy as owning a regular gas guzzler, except you never have to put gas in it. And I never stress about battery charging. It's got a long range, so no problem there. And it's easy to charge. You just plug it in, and that's it. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $19,000 in Mercedes-Benz incentives on select new vehicles and certified pre-owned Mercedes vehicles, as low as 1.99% APR for qualified buyers. So head on out to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It's just a half hour from Sacramento, right off I-5, or online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tuff Shed, new dog treatment centers, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Still leads at 7 under, having played 15 holes. Well, just as a minute as I said that, I look up, Scotty Scheffler sinks a birdie, and he now moves up to 7 under through 10. He is tied with Bryson DeChambeau at the lead, coming in second, lonesome by himself. That'll be Max Homa, who finished his day with the 71. He is at 6 under. 2 golfers are tied at 4 under, as are 2 others at 3 under. Another 4 golfers are tied at 4 under, including Patrick Cantley, defending champ. Well, John Rahman, he's mighty close to the projected cut line of 4 over, sitting at 3 over through 10 holes today. And the great Eldred Tiger Woods, Kyle Draper's guy, he has broken the
Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the power business technology to machine studios, flagship station for the Beam Team. Feed your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Okay, all right. Yeah, tough one last night, but Drapes, it's Friday, and you know what? As we sit here, it's Golden One, getting ready for tonight's big game. I see what I think is a really good omen for the Kings.
What do you got?
Well, when the Kings finally broke through, the Sacramento Kings finally won a playoff series.
Yeah.
It was Chris Webber and Vlade and those guys, and the team they finally beat was the Phoenix Suns. That was the first time the Kings advanced in a playoff series. And they play the Suns tonight. Not only that, but look who's staring us in the face here as we get ready for our show.
Chris Webber's big head here on the Jumbotron. C-Web in town all this week. Got his new book out, his memoir, By God's Grace. And he's going to be on the pregame show on NBC Sports California tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll sit down with C-Web, chop it up. Mike Bibby will call in as well, tell some old stories. But maybe, like you said, this is an omen. It's like we need, Kings royalty to come back in the building and bless us, as we take on the Phoenix Suns tonight.
He's already been here today, and then he'll be back tonight. Chris Webber's schedule, because they want you to be aware of this because you'll have opportunities to buy his new book here.
Yeah.
So he's at the game tonight. Tomorrow he'll be at the Oak Park Speaker Series Guild Theater. Then he'll be at the River Cats game after that in the evening at the River Cats game. And then Sunday back here for the Kings season finale against the Portland Trailblazers. And you will have some opportunities to purchase his memoir, Chris Webber, By God's Grace.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw a huge stack of them downstairs when I came in, and they're boxing them up and taking them to the team store. Some of them are autographed already, and so you got a chance to purchase an autographed Chris Webber by God's Grace memoir book tonight, and I think it's going to be electric in here, man. Think about just all the Kings legends we got going to be in the building tonight. Chris Webber, my guy, IT, Isaiah Thomas will be here. And if he checks in, he's going to get a big ovation too. And so we're going to track him down. As soon as he's warming up, Whitey, your boy is going to go downstairs and holler at IT and try to get him on our show.
Yeah, we're hoping that happens. Our guy RJ, thanks RJ, always does a great job behind the scenes, but he set us up so that if IT's out there, Drapes can run down, and hopefully we can, if all IT has to do is put on the headset we have set up there,
right,
and then we'll make magic.
Exactly. Only a couple of questions. We're not going to keep him, for a half hour, an hour. He got to get ready for the game. But, dude, if I can't get Isaiah Thomas on our air when he's right here in town, right in front of me, you can take my card away, my guy card, whatever you want to do, because I will have failed you guys, not only here on the drive, guys, but the city of Sacramento. I will have failed everyone.
This is not a day for failure. We don't worry about failure. We worry about what's ahead and what can still be accomplished. Kings lose again. So now what? It's all about finishing 7th or 8th.
Right. Yes, exactly. And there's a huge difference between 7th, 8th, and 9th and 10th. And, I was talking to somebody and they're like, what's the goal now? What's the mission? The mission is to, at the very worst, you have 2 home playing games. You know what I mean? So you have 2 cracks at it here at G1C. And to get that, you need to win tonight. And I think you need to win on Sunday as well, because this Phoenix team, man, it's tough. You need some help. I think the Pelicans are obviously out of reach right now. And so it's a gut punch what happened last night, and we'll dive into that. But it's a new day, Whitey. Mm-hmm. Your goals are still there. Your goals can still be accomplished, by getting in. And in 7th and 8th is a lot better than 9th and 10th.
It sure is. We'll break down some of those numbers here coming up with the drive, guys. But long story short, the 7th seed going into the play-in has always made it. The 7th seed has always advanced. The 10th seed has not.
Never. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Now, things can, change, but that's the way it's been to this point.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, that 7th seed, man, basically you would have to lose 2 home games to not make it as the 7th seed. So the advantage is built in for you to take care of business. And I know the Kings have struggled at home, but, that's the best you can ask for right now. You're not going to get a top 6. And so now if I'm Mike Brown, I'm getting the guys hyped to, what, guys, we're going to have 2 home playoff games, play-in games next week.
Were you at all disappointed? I'm not saying you should have been. Were you at all disappointed by the way the Kings came out last night? I was sitting next to somebody, it was 31-11, and fans actually started booing. And the gentleman I was sitting next to said, I can't believe they came out like that in a game this important. And my statement was, I just don't think they can hang with these guys. Mike Brown mentioned it after the game, but he didn't really seem upset by it. Were you disappointed by the way that game started?
Yes, I was. Because we talked to Antonio Daniels yesterday, the Pelicans broadcaster, former NBA guy, 13-year vet. And he said, you guys need a quick start. You guys need to come out early. And we didn't. And everything he said came to fruition. The Pelicans played free. They played with confidence. They played like they were the big brother, and you just could not match up with them.
They played with force.
With force, exactly. And so I was disappointed. And, I hear all this talk, well, we didn't have Malik. He would have made. But Malik's not in the starting lineup. Like, the start of that game is what really upset me. For us to come out there and get blasted 31-11 right off the jump. Fortunately, De'Aaron Fox, tried to put on his cape, and we'll talk about that in Drape's Takes coming up and led a charge back in the second quarter. But, it sort of reminded me of the Dallas game. We're so hyped, must win. We're ready. This crowd is ready. And then, bam, it's a dud. We lay down, and it was frustrating. Yes.
Yes, and we're just going to be just a little bit more quiet here for the next 40 seconds, whatever it is, because there's a youth game about to start on the floor, and they're playing, as you may be able to hear, the national anthem. So everyone's at attention, and we're up here where they could hear us if we get too loud. So for just a moment here, we'll be a little more quiet. The Suns have the Kings. They're at Sacramento tonight, of course, then at Minnesota. The Warriors have New Orleans tonight. Then they have Utah. The Lakers have Memphis tonight. And then the Pelicans are already out here. The Lakers and the Pelicans fly back to New Orleans for their final game of the year on Sunday.
Yeah.
I would think there's a good chance the Warriors and Lakers, one of them is going to win one of their games. So the Kings, it looks like you really want to win both of these games.
I think you got to win both. And then you also, if you're trying to get the 7th seed, got to hope Phoenix loses again on Sunday against Minnesota, because right now Phoenix has a 2-game lead over you. So even if you win tonight, their lead is still 1. You need to win both these games and hope Phoenix loses both their games. If I was a betting man, like the way I look at it, I feel like the 7-8 matchup is going to be Phoenix and us. And I think we're going to have to go on the road next week and beat Kevin Durant in Phoenix. If I read the tea leaves, see, what scares me though, and I know the Warriors have a tough one against the Pelicans, but then they finish with Utah.
Right.
And that the Jazz, even though I think Jazz won yesterday,
out
but
3 weeks ago.
Right, exactly. And so we need the Pelicans tonight to handle business and get the win. And and then the Lakers too, with their situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're all tied, with the Lakers and the Warriors. And the Lakers, who do they have again? They have
the Lakers have Memphis tonight.
Memphis, so they'll probably get
their easy one first, and then they're at New Orleans. They got to go out.
So we need them to go 1-1.
Yeah,
we need both and us to go 2-0.
Now we've been kidding about your guy Carmichael Dave, and he's been kind of negative, and he was tweeting some things last night where I guess ultimately you got to say he was right. But after all the games were over last night, he tweeted the Kings are now tied for the 10th spot.
Right,
it's like that's not actually true.
Right,
they're 8th,
tied for 8th, right?
But they have the tiebreaker.
But and that's the negativity that just sucks in this town at times. Like, why would somebody even say that? And not to rip Carmichael Dave, but
he's just depressed. He's feeling it.
Carmichael Dave is the kind of guy that their son or daughter, gets a B on a test, and oh man, you didn't get an A. It's like, dude, he got a B. Like, it's like, oh man, he got in to Stanford. Oh man, it's not Cal Berkeley. Dude, just shut up.
It's not Ivy League.
Yeah, it's not Ivy League. It's like, why do you? It's such a Debbie Downer, and it's frustrating that Carmichael Dave and some fans view this team in this season with that kind of lens.
Yes,
because
it's kind of myopic.
Right, it really is. 45 wins, chance to get to 47 wins. Like, to me, that's a solid season for the Sacramento Kings.
Yes, it is, but Dave's not the only one. I found another Sacramento legend who looks at this the same way Dave does. We'll share that with you when we come back. And let's be honest here. Yeah, it's the play-in. Are people disappointed to be in the play-in? We examine that when we come right back to the Golden One. It's a Drive, guys, on Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Before we got the show going today, Kyle asked an interesting question of Jay and myself. And it's basically, we're not being negative, but the question is basically, is it a disappointment to be in the play-in, right?
Yes.
Fair question.
Yes, that is a fair question.
Uh-huh.
I think so.
I don't think so, but I could certainly understand people who felt that way. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And either way, we look ahead and everything's still ahead for the Kings potentially, playoffs and beyond. But this surprised me because we've been talking a lot about Carmichael Dave this week. Dave was nice enough to come on with us. And he's just been so down about this. I just wish it was over because these losses are so hard. Well, Jim Crandall is a legend in this town. Jim Crandall was on Fox 40, legendary sportscaster. He was here forever. He's still around. He's retired. He's on Twitter now, and he's a great guy. He used to have a show on this station. And I saw this from Jim Crandall on Twitter. He says, the misery is almost over. I have never been happy about the end of a King season, but I will be glad when this one is over. And I was just like, Jim Crandall, it's one thing from Carmichael Dave, but Jim Crandall's looking at it that way. What is wrong with us, Trey?
It's sickening to me, man. It is unbelievable how, just negative certain people in this town is about the Sacramento Kings. 5 years ago, we would have been begging for a season. 2 years ago, if we had a chance to actually get in the playoffs and in this streak, fans would be super excited. And so we're turning into Warriors fans right now, or Celtics fans, is the Lakers fans right now. Is that what we want to be, Sacramento? Just this negativity, man. I go back to Rick Pitino when he took the job in Boston. The negativity in this town sucks. And I know it's just a minority of you out there, Kings fans, but the positive people got to rise up.
Right.
Because I'm tired of my timeline being filled with negativity. It's like, I don't even want to go there. Like, and the problem too, Whitey, is the negativity is occurring before the game, during the game, after. Like, it's a Debbie Downer mentality even before they throw it up in the air. It's how many times, hold on, sorry to cut you. How many times have we seen this season, oh, so-and-so's out. Uh-oh, we're going to lose this game. It's like, what are we doing, man?
Well, people are conditioned because of everything that's happened through the years. Doesn't make it smart. And people can't help it. It's like a reflex because
that's loser's mentality, Whitey.
Yes,
that's being a loser
mechanism. By the way, you mentioned the atmosphere. Last night, to me, I thought there are a few more seats available than normal. And I thought, during some timeouts, there was some booing. After the game, people had their heads down. But during the game, I thought the crowd was great.
Exactly. The crowd was great, man. I thought the crowd came ready.
Yeah.
I thought during that second quarter, it got loud. And I saw the Pelicans kind of falter just a little bit. Willie Green had to use a couple of timeouts. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, this crowd is ready. It felt almost like a playoff atmosphere. And so, the thing that, I like about Kings fans, the ones in the building, they got loud. They got behind the scenes.
They did.
The social media trolls and stuff like that. I'm just, I don't have time for that, man. Not when we're in the thick of things right now. You want to be negative after the season, look back in hindsight. Man, that was a disappointing season. That was awful. Okay. But the games are still going on. Like, so Michael Dave tweeted out,
that's what I was going to say.
Like, they're guaranteed going to lose this one. I think it was like 16-12 or something like that.
And the Kings were making a little comeback.
Right.
Like, wow, and I think they got it to 4, maybe?
Yes.
And he's like, guarantee you they're still going to lose.
Right.
100%.
And I texted you guys. I'm like, save this one for later because it's ridiculous,
but,
man.
Not that Dave would throw this in your face, but he'd say, well, we have Beamer Beams Beamley. He says, let's see here. Where is it? Pardon me. He says, it's not negative if it's the truth. Pardon me. Yeah, if it's not negative if it's the truth.
I tell you what, get me off this ship there because I'm gonna have to start muting people and blocking people on social media because.
But Kings fans would say you're lucky because you weren't here for so much of this that makes Kings fans feel this way.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though, and I go back to my first year here, and I'll even point out Mike Brown in his opening press conference. If you think negative thoughts and think like a loser, you're going to be a loser.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening right now. It's, we're not uplifting these guys. We're not like, dude, we're right there. Lakers, Warriors, Phoenix, and mind you, Whitey, I'll say this. Let me throw this at you. Let me throw last year's NBA playoffs. Of the 4 conference finalists, where did they come from?
But 2 of them came from the play-in.
Exactly.
One in each conference.
50% of last year's conference finals came from the play-in. And so if you guys don't think that the Kings have a run in them, and I understand with the injuries is going to be tough. I get that. But the negativity started even before the injuries. But if you don't feel like the Kings have a run in them, just look at last year. Just look at what happened with Miami and the Lakers. All you got to do is get in.
Yes.
All you got to do is be one of the top 8 when it's all said and done, and then anything is possible.
Now, both things can be true. You can still be optimistic about the Kings' chances going forward this year and still be maybe disappointed that they're in the play-in. So how do you answer that question? Are you disappointed the Kings find themselves in the play-in?
I am disappointed, but I got to get over it. You know, did I want better things for this team? Yes. Did I want a top 6 seed? Yes. Was I disappointed last night? Yes. And that's okay. That's part of it. But the door hasn't closed.
Right.
You know,
right. That's right. Yeah, that's fair.
The book has not been finished being written for the Sacramento Kings. There's still a couple of chapters left in this book here. You know, we haven't even gotten to the ending, the grand finale, the climax. We know this is one thing we know 100%, Whitey. We have a chance still to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Our playoff hopes did not end last night.
Speaking of books, Chris Webber's By God's Grace available this weekend, available tonight here at the Golden One Center. Cha-ching. Hopefully that's worth something. I don't know. I am not disappointed they're in the play-in because once they weren't able to do anything at the deadline, and I think Jay was with me on this, I think we looked at this roster and said, okay, this is probably a play-in team. So to me, that's just the reality of it. Again, there is a path forward. Boy, you really have to make sure you stay out of ninth and especially 10th if you can. So you got to take care of your business tonight. Disappointing, yeah. On the other hand, when you compare it to all the past Kings seasons, the fact that it's 2 games left and they're still fighting for a playoff spot, to me, I'm not going to say, oh, this is a miserable season.
Exactly. 3 years ago, 4 years, whenever it was before the play-in, even last year, if we had not broken the drought, this year wouldn't feel the way it has.
I think you're right.
The drought was still going on, and we had a chance to end it right now. The way we are, people would be excited. They'd be pumped up. Instead, we got people saying, oh, I can't wait for this season is over. What do you it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
man.
Because they fear, what else could go wrong? And the season was going okay. They were not playing as well as they could, and then it looked like maybe they're getting it together, and then you get a couple injuries. So Kings fans over the years are just conditioned to expect the worst. But right now, that's where a lot of people are. It's not a good way to look at it, but they've been allowed themselves to become conditioned to do that.
Exactly. But like I go back to Mike Brown. He didn't talk about ending the drought. He talked about winning the championship. I go back to the conversation I had with Katie when De'Aaron Fox put up 43 against the Pelicans in my first season, where she said De'Aaron Fox can't do this every night. I said, the hell he can't. If he want to be Tatum, if he want to be Bam Adebayo, Donovan Mitchell, he's going to have to do that. And so I'm trying to build these guys up. Yeah. I'm trying to hold them to a higher level expectations, and I need the fan base with me. Now, if you want to be negative Nelly and losers, go sit on the side because we're trying to win games out here right now.
You know what I think would get people behind you and get people fired up would be a little Drapes Takes. You got some of those?
I got Drapes Takes.
All right.
I got Drapes
Takes.
We'll
come right back with Drapes Takes from the Golden One Center Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com. #1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door. The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today. A Friday to remember, Kings and the Suns. Kings zeroing in on hopefully the 7th spot and the play-in. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drapes takes are coming up. Drapes, we also have this from Beamer Beams Beamley, who has been saying, well, it's not negative if it's true. he wants to clarify something. He says, I am not the one who threw the chicken wing last night. So that's
Talk about frustration, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to throw a water bottle, some coins or something. First time I've ever heard people throw a chicken wing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Did you hear Kevin Harlan?
I did hear
Thought
it
this morning. Yeah. Oh, it's so delicious.
Right.
Why would you do that? Perfectly good ways of a
Crispy.
chicken wing.
Right?
It's a chicken wing. Well, it's about to get crispy up in here because it's time for Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
It is hard for me to calm down a day after, which was no doubt a disappointing loss. I'm with you, Kings fans. I feel the disappointment. I'm hurt that we're in a play-in. I'm sad that we didn't handle business against Dallas. I'm sad we didn't take care of business last night against New Orleans. I'm sad about the bad losses. But I will say this. The New Orleans Pelicans, it was very evident very early on, Whitey, they were a better team than us, especially without two of our horses. Like, the Pelicans came into that game and did exactly what they've done the previous 4 games. Made life difficult. And at no point during that game, even during the run, did I feel like the Pelicans felt threatened by the Sacramento Kings. You know, it's like, I said it earlier, it's like being a big brother and you're playing one-on-one with your little brother. Sure, he may get a couple of buckets on you, but you know, at some point, all you got to do is get an extra little physical, maybe block a shot or two, something like that, and you'll win the game. That's how I felt the Pelicans approached last night. I didn't feel like they felt threatened at all. And ultimately, Kings fans, we just got to chalk it up. They're a better team. This is a bad matchup for our guys right now.
The Kings never led, and what was most discouraging about the way they always seemed so confident was because Pelicans had a number of things they could do. It's like, we need a bucket. We'll either get the 3, or we'll go to Jonas Valanciunas, or we'll just have Zion go to the rim. They still had a number of options when they really needed a basket, and all of them worked.
And the crazy thing, they didn't even have Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Like, that's and if I'm the Kings, I take a look at the Pelicans a little bit. Sure, we're without Malik. Sure, we're without Kevin Huerter. If I'm Monty McNair, we have to have a deeper roster to be able to withstand these kind of injuries. The Pelicans are doing it with Brandon Ingram out. We're not doing it with Malik and Kevin out. My second Drapes take has to do with De'Aaron Fox. I want to give Foxy some love, and here's why, Whitey. 33 points last night, got to the free throw line 10 times, but I thought that second quarter, he tried to put on his cape and lead the Kings. Like, the end of that first quarter, second quarter, I thought he really tried to put on his cape and lead the Sacramento Kings. I thought he, when we were down 31-11, he went to work. And so that's the De'Aaron Fox, especially without Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. That's what we needed. That end of the first quarter, start of the second quarter, I thought he really stepped up his game.
Yeah, he did what Kings fans were praying that he would do. And a real quick note on this, you know, plus minus for one game's really not much to hang your hat on. But he played 40 minutes last night. The Kings got worked last night. He was a +3 in his 40 minutes in a game in which his team ended up losing by 12.
Yeah, and he played, like you said, 40. Yesterday might have been the day where we needed him 45. Like when Mike Brown took him out, and I think it was the third quarter, it might have been a 6-point game or something. I'm like, I don't know if I like that. Like, and I know it was his usual rest time and everything like that, but that might have been a game where De'Aaron might have had to go to 44, 45. Let me say this, too, as I continue Drapes takes. Harrison Barnes. That's all I got to say, Whitey. My guy. Who called it? What did I say? The over-under on HP? 17
and you took the over right
exactly.
at the end of the show.
Kings fans, I don't want to hear you mention Harrison Barnes' name in a negative light. No, the rest of this season. The dude brought it last night. He stepped up. Now, if you're asking him to do it every night, he's not that guy.
He was good.
He was good last night. You look at a team like Denver. That's what we always try to emulate. Jamal Murray, Jokic, they bring it every night. KCP doesn't bring it every night. Christian Brown doesn't bring it. Aaron Gordon doesn't bring it every night. Some nights they have it, some nights they don't. So I feel like at times we hold Harrison Barnes to a higher standard. too high of a standard. HB is our 4th or 5th option right now, and he delivered last night. Give him some love.
Yeah, he had also 5 rebounds and 4 assists. The thing that gets me about HB is he plays out of position, right?
Yes.
That's not his fault, but why is he's been playing out of position for a long time. It's not his fault, but that's what bugs me about the Harrison Barnes.
Well, it's the roster construction. We know as of now that this is a flawed roster.
Yes.
It is,
yes.
And Monte McNair has some work to do this offseason. I'll admit that. My final Drapes take has to do with Domantas Sabonis. And people will say, Domas has to be better. That's how I was yesterday. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He needs to have more of an impact. I think Mike Brown and the coaching staff, they have to make life easier for Domantas Sabonis somehow. Whether it's some different play calls, get him, on a mismatch a little bit more or something. Because I feel like Domas is at this point now where he's just being left out there to fend on his own against the Valanciunases of the world, against some of the bigs. And I feel like we talked about it yesterday. He needs Malik Monk.
Mm-hmm.
He needs help getting set up sometimes instead of having to go it on his own all game long.
You know what I think last night? Didn't HB and he run a pick and roll?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they have mixed in a few things. And while his numbers have been down, given the way teams are really focusing on Domas, I think he's been playing well for the most part.
Yeah, and he's been solid, you know, but I'll be honest, we need more. We need more from Domas right now.
Remember what happened last time he played against the Suns?
Oh, yeah.
35, 18,
right.
13, something like that.
And because he was atoning for that other game right before that against the Suns when they went small and Kevin Durant was guarding them and we couldn't take advantage.
Yeah.
And so he bounced back. And so I'm looking for a big game from Domantas Sabonis. But like I said, I think the coaching staff needs to do a better job making life a little easier for him, maybe a little more pick and rolls for him. Maybe get him on the move with the ball where he catches it and still has a live dribble. That's what I want to see from Domantas Sabonis. That's Drapes Takes. It's brought to you by Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Thank you, Drapes. I have 2 Fox questions for you. One, were you worried? Are you still worried about his ankle?
No, not really.
He said
he didn't seem to be
Yeah.
worried, so I'm not going to worry about it.
All right. We'll see.
We'll see.
You've turned your ankle. You can always play the next day. And when he was asked about it, he put his head down and said, no, it's not like the last one. I'll be good. So hopefully he's fine.
Yeah.
The other thing, did you think he deserved the tee he got last night?
Oh, if I'm keeping it real, he probably deserved to get ejected. He probably deserved to get thrown out because after he fired the ball at Zach Zarba, he used some colorful language. I was right down there and I heard it. And I was sitting next to Antonio Daniels and Chris Haynes, and we turned to each other and we're like, ooh, he might get thrown out. And so Antonio Daniels was like, see, that's why I like Zach Zarba, because he doesn't take it personal. I've seen officials before, you say the magic word, they get upset and throw you out. Zach Zarba used restraint yesterday. So for sure, De'Aaron deserved the technical, maybe even an ejection yesterday.
That's funny because one of the people I was sitting by was saying, couldn't hear. We were right up here.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear. And the person I was with said, I don't know why an official throws that guy out. You don't need to throw him out for that. Just look the other way. And in fact, you're saying the official actually showed restraint.
100%. Like when Fox called Zach Zarba yesterday, oh my gosh.
I think I misspoke. The guy I was with said, you shouldn't tee him up. He doesn't deserve a tee for that. You don't deserve a tee for that. Just it's a play on. But as you say, we actually deserve maybe more.
Yeah, I was shocked he wasn't thrown out. Like it was like, you ever have your kids in the car with you, or you're at a grocery store and somebody curses and then you cover your kids' ears or something like that. You're like, oh. That's how I felt with De'Aaron Fox last night. I was like, ooh, am I supposed to hear that? Like it was, it was colorful.
See, the officiating is really getting to him.
It really,
and that was a good call too. I think not just the tee, but before that, it was an offensive foul.
Oh yeah, because he's trying to be physical back. Yes, and he was frustrated because he was not in his eyes getting the foul calls. The officiating, and I'll say it right now, is a problem in the NBA. It is an issue in the NBA because some fouls are being called. Sometimes they're letting them play. It's like there's no consistency game to game, official to official, quarter to quarter. And I think what the league has done, and we had Antonio Daniels on yesterday talking about it, has really hurt the level of play in the basketball this season. I understand wanting it to be more physical, but it's almost like street ball, prison ball out there. What I saw last night, on both ways. And I'm not saying the Kings should have got more whistles. Like on both ways, I'm like, man, they're letting them play, and it's borderline not basketball anymore.
It is because clear fouls are not being called. Clear fouls.
Right.
If you want to legislate incidental contact out of the game, okay, maybe too many touch fouls. You don't need those. But now it's like no one knows what a foul is.
Exactly.
The officials certainly don't.
And if I'm a player, I'm trying to get away with as much as possible. If they're not going to call it, I'm going to try to get away with it. But it's not a pleasant product to watch for me, seeing that kind of physicality. I don't like it.
That's why tonight the Kings with their, quote unquote, backs to the wall, you got to be physical tonight for a couple reasons. One is you got to send a message. Two, you don't know, to your point, they may not even call it.
Right.
You can get really physical. You saw what Gary Payton did to Rui a couple nights ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It
wasn't even a foul.
Wasn't even a foul. It's and that they put the officials in a bad position. I think the league did, because and we said it yesterday. I think it's gone overboard. It's gone way too far. And now we know, as well as the playoffs coming in, it's another level of physicality. So are you going to let more go in the playoffs? I'm not liking what I'm seeing in the NBA games now.
All right. De'Aaron Fox clearly get frustrated. Hopefully he's good to go tonight after tweaking that ankle late in the game. The Kings did make a little mini run there. They kept it interesting. When the
you want me to give them a cookie for that? I mean, like I said, the Pelicans didn't break a sweat last night. Anytime the Kings made a run or threatened in the second half, CJ McCollum buried a three. I mean, that dude, we understand the history and why he has a chip on his shoulder when he plays the Sacramento Kings, why he wants to light us up. But that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's the way CJ and then Zion was dominate.
Zion was like, it's just, you guys, we need a basket. All right. This.
And here's the thing. Zion, and you look at, I could name, I'm going to throw CJ. We just can't guard them.
No.
We just can't.
No.
We don't have anybody. And Zion's a great player. We're not the only ones that can't guard him. A lot of teams can't guard him. But it was clear as day,
Valanciunas too.
Valanciunas. And I think Valanciunas gives Sabonis some credit, some trouble, excuse me, with the physicality. And also, how about Valanciunas hitting 15 to 17 footers, jumpers and everything? I'm like, what is going on here? That's a confident team that knows they came in and now have kicked your butt 5 times this season.
You mentioned cookies, and it was so sad because it was towards the end of the game. It had been decided. Kings fans were trudging out with their heads down. And then somebody on the Pelicans, I think it was Herb Jones, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He went to the line and missed the first one. And Scott Moak says, well, we do have cookies on the line. Somebody, if he misses, everyone gets a crumble cookie. And he made it. So I thought, he
can't even get a cookie out the deal, right? Came to this game and just got a lousy L. Can't even get a cookie out.
Yeah, when we come back, you know what? Mike Brown is putting a happy face on being in the play-in. Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the network made for streaming. Well, in the same week, the A's announced that beginning next year they'll be playing at Sutter Health Park until the move to Las Vegas. Paul Blackburn did some very impressive things on the mound. When he blanked the Tigers for 6 innings in Detroit, it gave him 13 consecutive scoreless frames to begin the season, the 4th best total in Oakland history, the record being set by Matt Keogh with 16 back in 1980.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tuck Shed, new dog treatment sensors, and Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Everywhere you look, someone is always telling you how to get more fit. While we may feel like we're fit, we can all get fitter. Maybe you have a favorite pair of jeans that don't fit anymore, or maybe you just want to lower your blood pressure a bit. Here are a few suggestions. Walk more rounds, walk to work, walk to the store, walk the dog, but walk. Strengthening the most important muscles in the golf swing, your glutes. Even Tiger couldn't fire his. Buy a foam roller and knead the muscles of your body 3 times a week, especially your hips. You can do this while you watch television. Eat more vegetables, and potato chips and carrot cake don't count. Stabilize the muscles of your core by raking leaves or sweeping floors, and eliminate soda, especially the ones with artificial sweeteners. Maybe you'll be able to take a little bigger turn. Maybe you won't get tired around the 15th hole. Either way, you're going to be much happier with yourself. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with the Weekly Economic Update. With the college basketball championships in the rearview mirror, all eyes were on the Consumer Price Index report, and the results were higher than forecast. CPI rose 3.5% in March, showing inflation to be more persistent than forecast. The CPI measures the changes in prices up or down in a given period. Housing remains a large part of the continued cost increases. Subtracting shelter inflation is actually the Fed's target. The silver lining is that wage inflation has outpaced CPI inflation. While workers can purchase more goods, is the wage inflation creating cost headwinds for goods and services? According to Investopedia, the answer is yes. If the cost of humans in processing goods and services increases, companies charge more for these goods and services. While increased wages increase buying power, they also put pressure on supply to keep up. Increased wages can lead to demand for leisure activities, for example. Increased leisure activities can reduce the quantity of labor at any given time, which could have an effect on supply. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontherradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer and member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
What do you guys in Philadelphia do to honor your sports legends? But I just saw this. I know Jay had been sharing this with us on our text thread. I just am seeing now the unveiling of the Allen Iverson statue in Philadelphia. Where's the rest of it? What are they doing? What is this, a statue for ants? Why is it so small?
I think outside of their practice facility, they have like those kind of statues, like statues that like it's not like Shaq and Kobe outside of crypto.
It's like a lawn gnome. It's
right?
like, yeah.
I'm just saying. I know. It looks bad. It looks awful. I saw a video of some of the other statues that he'll be going up next to, and they aren't all massive or anything like that. And so
it's him doing his crossover.
Yeah, the crossover, right?
Yeah. And I mean, he looks like he likes it, and he just gave it a kiss and everything. But it's like, that's Allen Iverson.
Man, y'all being negative, man. Stop that, man. You should just be happy he got a statue.
You better stop it. Don't do Allen Iverson like that. Like he deserves one of them little chocolate chip cookies. You talking about an icon, but you are right in the fact of after, and this is why the media doesn't do their jobs. And sometimes we talk about on this show, no one during the presentation showed the other trophies. So if you haven't been to the Philadelphia 76ers practice facility, you wouldn't know that all the rest of these trophies are the exact same size.
Right, exactly. Now, if this was, the one outside of, where they play their home games. You know what's interesting, though, that and I love my city of Philadelphia, but even when I was in Boston, they used to just razz me, man. They're like, how come Rocky got a statue?
Oh,
and he's a fictional character.
Right,
like, it's so like, how does Rocky have a bigger statue than Allen Iverson?
By the way, and Jay just said trophy. He didn't misspeak. This statue is the size of one of those little bowling ball men on your trophy. That's what this is. It's like the little guy on the trophy. Like, here you go.
They're doing them. They're doing what they do. Like, let them have their moment. It's if AI isn't upset about it. And let me also
I don't know. I'm looking at it.
But let me say this. You're clowning it and you can laugh.
You got to see the video too,
Julius Erving has if Julius Erving has that same size statue,
he does.
Moses Malone,
he does.
If Wilt Chamberlain, then Allen Iverson should have it too.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand AI is the man. Trust me. Allen Iverson is my guy. Love Allen Iverson coming up. But it is what it is.
White, you have to go to, I retweeted it, but like the 76ers and a couple of other media people who weren't in attendance have now retweeted the outside of the practice facility. And I just learned this, that the 76ers don't own their arena, which is why they can't post those trophies.
It's the Flyers arena.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Outside of their playing arena, they do it outside their practice facility. So it's kind of like a walkway. Okay. And as you said, as Drapes talked about Moses, the Doc, Charles Barkley has one out there. Wilt has one. Yeah, they're all set up. And then AI is like the last one in the far corner before you enter the building now.
Todd McCullough probably has one.
Todd McCullough. Come on, man. Keith Van Horn,
Well, Eric Snow. Somebody should say, hey, we should build bigger statues. But okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
But fellas, can I say this?
To rip Philly.
Can I say this, though? And like friends of our show, Mark Spears, people like that, who I would have expected to know this, did not know that there was a walkway of these garden gnomes, as you called them, Whitey, of Philadelphia 76ers greats. They should make them a little bigger, but they coincide. But I was just amazed to see some of like top-notch NBA media who was making fun of the size of it to not even know that. Like, now I can't even believe half the stuff you putting out.
Man, that's the world we live in, though, Jay.
I know, you're right.
It's like everybody want to be critical or make a joke or something like that. And it's like, dude, where's the context?
But the larger truth is statues are supposed to be life size. And they have, better than I in Philadelphia. I'm sure they have Ben Franklin, everybody.
Yeah, they got.
They don't have little mini Ben Franklin.
There's no rules. There's no rules.
No, that's what a statue is to honor somebody. It's supposed to be. That's traditionally what a statue is. That's all. Do you know what Dame Lillard is afraid of statues and any figure that's
really,
like a mannequin and stuff. And I forget the condition. But he has like a phobia.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'll look it up. There's a term for it. And people were looking at it when they were trying to determine, well, where's he going to go? If he wants out of Portland, what cities do they have statues in? He won't want to go there. So, okay, that's nice. If Allen Iverson likes it.
Right. Exactly. It is what
Bring
it is.
your magnifying glass.
Like I said,
go to see it.
If Wilt has one, if Dr. J has one, who's this? Why Allen Iverson should be larger? Now, if I agree, if it's outside the arena or maybe they don't have the space, you just don't. I mean, come on, man, you're just ripping Philly. If this was Baltimore, we wouldn't even be doing this. If this was Tampa, we wouldn't even be doing it.
Who would they have in Baltimore? Like little Frank Robinson?
Yeah, Frank Robinson
bobblehead thing. There's a statue.
They'd have what's his name? Ray Lewis.
Yeah,
Ray Lewis out there in Baltimore.
Yes. Real quick here. This was Mike Brown last night, talking about the play-in, trying to put a positive spin on the fact that the Kings cannot finish out of the play-in and trying to put a positive spin on where they can still go from here. Here's Mike Brown.
I've told our team this many times. I mean, what we're going through right now is invaluable. I truly, I hope everybody, and I told them, I said, we all should be embracing this 100% for sure, guys. I want to freaking win every game. And trust me, I go home and I bang my head against the wall just like everybody else in that locker room on these losses. But, man, I don't know. It seems like forever, but maybe the last 10 games or so, maybe a little longer, every single time we stepped on the floor, there's been an expectation, a pressure of trying to get a win, and one win or one loss. One win can move you up 3 spots. One loss can drop you down 3 spots. And so to be able to go through this, especially right now in our second year with the team we have, while Keon's getting experience, while Davion's getting experience, and even throwing Kobe in there a little bit too. And the reality of it is Fox hasn't been through this. This is Fox's 8th year in the league, but he hasn't been through this at all. And Domas probably hasn't been through it. He's played in the playoffs, I think, twice before coming here. So for all of us to be able to go through this is an invaluable learning experience. I hope we come out on top. But for us to have to fight for that play-in spot and realize how good it will be to play at home, okay, in that first game, knowing that you got 2 shots at it, I'm excited about it. I've embraced it. If we could have finished in 6th, I wanted that more than anything else, or 5th. But at the end of the day, this is where we are, and let's freaking go get it.
I understand why he says that. I understand why he has to say that. I'm not buying that 100%.
Why not? What part aren't you buying?
He's trying to put a positive spin on how disappointing it is that this team, as well as they were playing and as good as the record was, that they're in the play-in. And the experience is invaluable, and it's part of the growing experience for this team.
You're not buying that? I got facts right here. I look at the Denver Nuggets. Mike Malone's first year, 33-49. Mike Malone's second year, 40-42. For their third year, 46-36. So it didn't just happen overnight, Whitey. Let me ask you this.
But it went like this.
No, it didn't. What was their record the year before they won the championship?
They probably won 44.
The year before they won the championship, 48.
48.
The year before that, 47.
Okay.
46. 2018-19, 54 wins. And then they dropped back to 46.
Jamal Murray got hurt.
But that's what I'm saying. This team is about to have 47 wins. 47 wins.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Great.
That's
exactly.
good.
And so this whole notion that, oh my gosh, this is terrible. It's an awful season and everything like that. This is actually where the Kings are supposed to be in their trajectory towards building a championship team. And that's the word, building a championship team.
I understand that, but I'll tell you what bothers me about what he said when we come right back here. Also, we'll look at, the Kings did so many things really well last night, and yet they still lost. How did that happen? Next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports. Nice shot.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-905-1990. That's 1-800-905-1990. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-905-1990. 1-800-905-1990. SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Shot a 66 yesterday. He's 7 under right at the moment. With that being said, we have one golfer that's top at 4 under. We have 2 other golfers that are 3 under. We have 4 golfers who are 2 under, and we have Tommy Fleetwood, Cameron Young, and Patrick Reed all at 1 under, tied with another 6 other golfers. The defending champ John Rahm is he's close to the projected cut line still right now. He's 3 over through 13 holes. And the great Eldrick Tiger Woods, he's broken the record for the most made consecutive cuts at the Masters with 24 in a row, as he was in the clubhouse earlier today shooting a 72. He currently sits at 1 under. Those are your master leaderboard scores. They are brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Now let's get back to the Drive Guys.
Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Chris Webber in the building tonight. He was already here today, sat down with some members of the media. I think he's going to be at the River Cats game and Oak Park tomorrow. Then he'll be back here on Sunday. hobnobbing with people, promoting his book. I was just looking at the interview that I guess Frankie and Brenda did with him today. You can see it on our YouTube channel. You can check it out on Twitter and web. His book is called By God's Grace. He talked about the importance of having good people around you and having positive people and the importance of having faith in what you're doing. And I think that's a good message for Kings fans today, with so much
trying to preach that.
Seemingly slipping away, but still so much within reach.
So much within reach. And, for me, you still have a chance at A, getting into the playoffs, and B, getting a 7 or 8 opportunity where you have 2 cracks at getting into the playoffs. And so I know things are tough right now. Times are tough. Squad is down. People are hurt, injured, but there's still another game. And as long as there's another game and another opportunity, I'm going to stay up, Whitey. I'm going to stay up and fire it up for this team.
I was a little discouraged last night by the fact that the Kings did so many things well offensively. Right. You look at the numbers like, wow, HB had 22, Keegan had 19, and they shot 55%. They shot 42% from 3. If you'd told me before the game, if you'd gone into the future and come back with just the Kings half of the box score and showed it to me, I said, man, they're going to win this game by 9.
I mean, they scored 123 against these guys.
Yeah.
Pelicans, one of the top defensive teams out there, man. And so, no, you're right. Offensively, they were pretty good last night.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was the system or the offense, because you look at the shot distribution, it was pretty even. Fox did what you want Fox to do. He had 33 on 18 shots, and he also, he had 8 assists. Domas, it was a rough night for him in some ways, but his numbers where he was very efficient, and yet they could not get the stops, even though the Kings have been playing much better defense of late. Just the Pelicans are just an almost impossible matchup for them.
Impossible matchup, and let me say this: the Pelicans out-Kings the Kings, if you will. Pelicans' offense was humming. What did they shoot from 3? 55%?
That's correct. Like 22 of 40.
22 of 40. I mean, that's and we know the Kings, 3-point defense at times this season has been an issue. I felt like they've done better as of late. But the Pelicans, man, and Antonio Daniels said this before the game yesterday. There's certain teams, certain arenas, certain gyms that you just feel better in. You come in feeling confident. And we saw last night this Pelicans team felt confident. I actually thought during that second quarter run, late into the first, beginning of the second quarter, that run that the Kings were on, I thought, man, they did a great, they were physical. They made life difficult. Pelicans still scored 30 in the second quarter. So even if the Kings were playing good defense, the Pelicans still found a way.
Yeah, I was encouraged by the way the Kings came back, but then I saw Carmichael Dave's tweet that said, forget it, there's no chance the Kings could win. And then I thought, oh, well, never mind.
I'm not going to address that guy right now because I'm so upset at it. I'm just, it's like, dude, let the games play out. And I can't tell you, I've had people text me some of the same things. Oh, we're done. I'm like, bro, it's 4-0. What are you talking about? It's like we're so, and I never get a text. And this is what bothers me. I never get a text that says, man, we got him when we're up 6-0 or something. It's always the negative. That's the default that we go to instead of saying, man, I feel good about this one. We're going to win this. It's always the opposite, always the negative.
So the Kings, as you know, in the plan. Where in the plan, we're not sure. Very interesting piece in The Athletic today by Anthony Slater, who was here last night, breaking all the possibilities down. And Slates is going to join us bottom of the hour. We were just talking about what Mike Brown said last night, about how the process is good for the Kings. This is part of the growth for the team going forward. He said the experience is invaluable, which I understand. I just think the thing that makes me that I can't buy completely there is the elephant in the room, which is when you look at the talent disparity in the West, and it's of course magnified by the fact that the Kings, without 2 of their rotation players, they got a lot of room to make up there. You compare the Kings roster. You just mentioned Denver, and Denver's got Jokic, and they got Murray, and they got Gordon, and they got Porter. So that's where I think the Kings are going to have to get busy this offseason and make up ground. That's going to go a lot longer towards making up that ground than just, this experience. Next year, they'll be better for the experience.
Right, exactly. I mean, but we knew before this week, we knew prior to securing a play-in tournament berth that the roster was flawed. and then you lose two of your top 5 guys. I'm talking about Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk, and what are we supposed to do? Your flaws are even magnified even more, and so there's definitely work to be done. And I've said it during the trade deadline last year. This is a huge offseason for Monty McNair. The problem is I'm not sure what we can do asset-wise, because Malik Monk, we got to re-sign him, right? We all agree, it's important to re-sign him.
Domas is leaving if they don't re-sign him.
No,
he's just
he's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
HB's bike and he's driving out of here.
But if Malik does leave, we don't have the money to just go out there and get a Malik replacement at $20 million or whatever. Like we're hamstrung. And so then you look at our draft picks situation. We got the one tied up with the Atlanta Hawks. We need that to convey so we can trade some of these future assets. And so it's going to be difficult, but Monty McNair, you got to improve this roster, man. We know that.
What do you think of this idea? You're not going to like it. Most people are not going to like it, I think, but just bear with me. And I hope the Kings get into the playoffs. That would be great. It's great for our business. It's great for as fans. It's fun. It's what I want.
Right.
If they don't, and that's certainly a possibility, then you still have that draft pick, which nobody wants. Everyone wants, get rid of it so you can trade or whatever. If you have that pick this year, if you end up with that pick, I would think about very aggressively, maybe even trading up this year. I don't know if people are going to say it's a bad draft. Maybe. No one ever knows that for sure. You're not picking the whole draft. You're looking for one guy.
Right.
If you find a guy you really like, there's a couple of players that declared today, Matas Buzelis and Filipowski. If the Kings really like somebody, they end up in the draft and they like somebody, I would trade up. That's a way you can address the talent gap. You bring in somebody, there's risk involved because they're young. You don't know how good they're going to be, but that's also very affordable.
Affordable, yes. It doesn't, mess up your cap situation.
Yes.
That's for sure. And I wonder, and I hear you on that, Whitey. I think if we did do that, then you're adding in another young piece that might take a couple of years.
It would. And you're right. Probably would.
I think Kings fans are looking for the jump next season. 46 wins, a play-in tournament berth next season. I don't know if that will be acceptable for this Kings team. And so what moves can you make that moves you into top 5 in the Western Conference category? I don't know what the moves are. I don't know. I haven't looked at what's out there.
We're just talking philosophies, though.
Right.
To me, that philosophy, it's if it's achievable short-term, a big jump, you can't get, it's really hard to get to championship level.
Well,
you make a trade, you bring in a big name, again, theoreticals. Next year, wow, you could be way better, but are you really on a path to being a champion?
Well, I think, and we keep talking about Denver, I keep bringing it up. Who's our Aaron Gordon? Who's that guy that's sort of, fizzling out in his current market? They're not winning, and they're looking at, all right, maybe it's time to hit the reset or something like that. Who's that guy that's out there?
But remember, the 3 of their big studs, right? Porter and Jokic and Murray, they drafted those guys.
But we already got 3 studs, Murray, Sabonis, and Fox. We need somebody to add to them, a veteran guy that's maybe an upgrade over some of the guys we have. I don't know who that is. Let me think about this.
No, I know, and it's difficult, and then it's, is he available, and blah, blah, blah.
Right,
but we're just talking philosophy. Now,
I hear you, but if you can get up into the top 2 or 3, top 5, maybe I do that, but not to go from 14 to 9, right? Like, is that the kind of move? Like,
if you could do that through the draft, I think a slower rebuild has a higher ceiling, and it's a matter of, is your fan base patient enough for that, given where they've been? I mean, I'm looking more like the OKC model.
Do you think this Kings fan base is patient after this season?
I think if you show them the right things, they certainly can be. They've proven that.
Right.
They may not want to be, but
I feel like they've forgotten about that, though. The way this season has gone, I feel like Kings fans expected 48 wins to go from number 3 to number 2 or 55 wins. Like, we can actually achieve 47 wins, and that's not good enough for some fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's because, look where they are. It's 47 wins. Yeah, but where does that get you? We don't know yet,
but we know last year was an outlier. Let's keep it real. Last year was an outlier. because you only had Memphis and Denver. Everybody else, Golden State was down, Lakers down, Clippers down, OKC, Minnesota, like all those teams underachieved. Pelicans. This year, a lot of them overachieving, Minnesota, OKC. And so each year, as Jason Jones said, is its own entity.
And is qualifying for the play-in, is it an accomplishment? We'll look at that. Also, we'll look at the original play-in in the NBA and how the rules were actually different for the original play-in format. Next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. People come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Obviously we really wanted this. We really needed it. At the end of the day, we know that we're going to be in a playing spot, but, are we going to be home in a 9-10 or are we going to be away or home in a 7-8? That's all up to us. Obviously, tomorrow against Phoenix is going to be big because I can put, that's a full game basically. If you win or lose. We put ourselves in this position.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox postgame last night. The postgame was fascinating to me, Drapes, and dear listener, because the Kings, they met fully all the obligations to meet with the media. But you heard there De'Aaron a little bit, and we heard a little Mike Brown earlier. They really didn't have a lot to say. And to me, it was pretty clear. Two things going on. One, you are as a player, you're processing, all right, we did want to be in the playoffs. We still have a chance here, but now we got to take a step back and figure this out. And then two, like De'Aaron said there, we got a game tomorrow, a huge game.
Right.
There's no time to talk about what happened in New Orleans. It's like, no, we got to look ahead. And so they really didn't want to spend a lot of time worrying about last night because they need to win tonight.
They do. And, this is a desperate Phoenix team that's coming in. And, and here's the thing. Phoenix actually has a little bit more to play for than you because they still have a shot at the 6th seed,
They have the tiebreaker over the Pels, I think?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around?
I'd have to look it up. But they still have a shot at the 6th seed. And so, they've been, their home woes. We saw them the other day get mollywopped at home by the Clippers.
Short-handed Clippers.
Yeah, short-handed Clippers. And so, it's going to be tough, man. And you look at the elite skill level that they have with Beal, Booker, and Durant. The one thing they don't have is the physicality on the defensive end. And so, it's sort of like being a boxer. And Jay, you're a fan of the sweet science. It's like styles matter. And the Pelicans style is not a good matchup for us, but I think we fare better against this Phoenix Suns team.
Suns have tiebreaker over the Pelicans too, by the way, fellas.
Suns have
yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Appreciate that. Do you remember when the NBA had to go in the bubble and they had the truncated season because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
and they ended up. That was the first year they tried the play-in because they didn't play a complete season. Do you remember the format? The format for that was 8 plays 9 in each conference, only if 9 was within 4 games of 8.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
And
man.
the way it worked was, okay, if 9 is within 4 games of 8, they play, but 9 has to beat 8 twice.
Right.
That was the
Okay.
way they did it.
Wow. That was only a few years ago, and I don't even remember that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know if they officially called that the play-in because it was the first time they'd done it. Then the next year was the play-in as it is now. It's probably a little too complicated to do that every year. This way is cleaner, like 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
You're all in. But I this would be a very exciting weekend without the play-in. If you had no play-in, this would be a really, really exciting NBA.
I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nervous now, but I'm kind of like, all right, at least we know we get at least one game next week.
Right.
It could all be over on Sunday or during the regular format. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like it could all end. And so it's sort of another shot at it, a second chance at the lottery, if you will, And so, man, and think about this. You got the Kings, Lakers, and Warriors all tied. Our biggest rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Most hated fan base.
I know.
You know what I mean? And so this is going to be bragging rights for this offseason as well. I got my guy Bonte Hill. He's ready to tweet about the Warriors surpassing the Kings. And so we got to win this tonight, man. We have to.
So who do you want if you could handpick?
Like the
your
matchup?
Playing foe.
Playing matchup?
You asked this question yourself earlier today. Because I picked Memphis, but I don't think that.
I know that's not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen. That's if I had my druthers for a 1-game play-in scenario.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Phoenix Suns. As great as Durant and Booker are, I feel like LeBron and Steph Curry are cheat codes. I feel like no matter what you do, when those guys are locked in, they take it to a level that, few people do in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And, I could argue 1 game, they might be the 2 best players in the NBA right now. I throw Jokic in there. I throw, maybe Giannis, but for 1 game and the ceiling that they can reach, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see those guys.
I don't want any part of the Warriors. I would pick, if I could be certain that the officials were good, like they do a really good job, I would take the Lakers, but I'm not overly confident of that. But the Suns, the games this year, one of the Kings' worst losses was that game.
We gave that away.
Yeah.
Right. Like the Kings have actually played the Suns pretty well.
Beat them the first 2, right? Lost the last 2, including that one that the Kings all but won.
I mean, what were we up, 18 or 22, something like that? And it collapsed. And I think, when you look at that loss, Frank Vogel switched it up, went small, and that caught the Kings off guard. They switched up their style.
That's right.
Remember
Domas, like, you go in, no, come out.
Right. They didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
And so I think, we match up best with Phoenix. And I understand we've beaten the Lakers 4 straight times. Domas has never lost to Anthony Davis, but I still don't like them at their best. It is scary to me.
You think the Lakers, and I respect and understand it too. To me, it sounds like you think the Lakers are like in the old Godzilla movies where like he's frozen underground or whatever. And then something happens and then, oh, here he comes. You woke up LeBron and AD.
Dude, I've seen it too many times from LeBron James, being out there in the Eastern Conference. Shoot, even last year.
Yeah,
that's our guy. Yeah. And I think the Lakers, because they're such a veteran team, like I don't think they're just coasting, but I don't think they're locked in like they would be come to playoff series. And so, no, I do think the Lakers can make some noise. Can they beat Denver? No, I think Denver is the best team in the Western Conference. But they've owned OKC all season long. That's, a horrible matchup for OKC. And so, depending on the matchups, I think the Lakers can make a run.
is qualifying for the play-in an accomplishment this year for the Kings? Disappointment or not, we talked about that earlier. Is it an accomplishment? Have they accomplished anything to this point? Getting in the play-in?
I'm going to say no.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, all right. We're on the same page. I'm like, no, that's nothing to be, great job, great effort. No, especially, Whitey, because I look at the teams that did not make the play-in.
Right.
If Houston was going to be ahead of us, Utah, San Antonio, Portland, no. 10 out of the 15 teams make at least a play-in. And so, to me, that's not an accomplishment.
Right.
Like, you should be there.
Yeah.
It's
as long as you get out. Again, if you're in the play-in and then you get out, that is great.
That is an accomplishment.
But if you're in the play-in and you don't get out of it, you haven't really done it.
I do not go into the offseason feeling great about the Kings season, this past season, if we get eliminated in the play-in.
See, I had this fear last year that the Kings were going to break the drought by getting into the play-in and not get out of it, and then there was going to be a debate. Well, did they break the drought? Well, they kind of did.
Right.
And I was so glad there's no question they made the playoffs. This year, some people want to say, well, the play-in, it's the postseason. The NBA does not consider it the postseason. So,
right. And you know what the Kings are if they don't advance from the play-in to the playoffs? They're the Chicago Bulls. The Atlanta Hawks. Okay, but you're not like
it's Charlotte Hornets.
It's like, no, we want to be in the big dance. And so, no, I do not think it's something to pat ourselves on the back with if we just make the play-in. No, we got to make the playoffs.
Now, who will the Kings face, as we were discussing? Could be the Warriors, and the Warriors all of a sudden are feeling really good about themselves. Why is that? We'll find out when Anthony Slater from The Athletic joins us next. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you've got weak Wi-Fi, it's time to rethink your internet provider. Fidium Fiber's dedicated connection offers tons of bandwidth, and whole home Wi-Fi lets you seamlessly connect all your devices all at the same time. Visit FidiumFiber.com today.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details, N43024.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, we had some media royalty in the building last night. Kevin Harlan, either I almost ran into him or he almost ran into me because he was trying to get to the restroom. You know, halftime, as you know, it's like he had to get to the restroom and he had to get back out there. And so I just like, all right.
You let him go through?
Getting out of the way.
Okay.
Go right on through. Right on through.
You stayed meeting people in some odd places. Kevin Harlan in the bathroom. Who else? Wasn't there somebody in the...
was Jamal Crawford in the bathroom also.
Jamal Crawford, right.
It's the weirdest thing when you're like,
Right.
Jamal Crawford.
Right.
You try to act like, oh, no big deal.
Are you a talker while going? Like if somebody's next to you?
I hate that. Okay, you know, sometimes you have to, but if someone is like, hey, how are you? You know, how do you think I am?
Right.
I'm in the middle of something. Yeah. But other than that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'll talk to you after too. After we wash our hands and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's just let's be civilized.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But of course the Kings are playing big games and also a nationally televised game. And this playing thing's gonna be interesting.
It is. And look at the star power in this play-in tournament. LeBron, Steph, AD, Fox, Sabonis, Durant. Like this is some high-level talent will be sent home next week. And I look at Sacramento and I question and I worry about the mind frame of our team right now.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset. Are we defeated? Are we wounded because we know Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter aren't there? And so the odds are stacked up against us. Or are we going to come out and fight and try to shock the world? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Can we be both? Can we both be both stunned that without those two guys would still come out to fight?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. I hope so. You know, you could be down after last night's loss, but once you take that floor, once you come into this building, you got to be ready to play because you still have an opportunity.
Interesting hearing Kevin Huerter speak last night about how, as you can imagine, he and his team, they went around to as many doctors as they could, hoping to find somebody that said, no, I think you're going to be good if you just rest.
Right.
And they just obviously couldn't find that person.
Right. And right. Went to the surgery. And, you know, I go back to, you know, our friend Isaiah Thomas, you know, his situation in Boston with his injury. He could have either A, had the surgery or B, let it heal sort of over time. He elected to sort of keep playing, let it heal over time in the offseason, and then he got damaged. You know, I keep saying what the doctors did to him in Boston, man, I think he got some bad advice, you know, and I don't know that for sure, but, you know, I think it definitely, you know, hurt his career for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be interesting if you encounter him today.
Yeah. That's what because I feel his pain, man. Yes. I know I'm on your side, IT.
Yeah. Jay, did you see our guest is ready to go? Yeah. All right. Nice enough to join us here from The Athletic. He covers the Warriors and the NBA at large. I mentioned media royalty in the building last night. Mm-hmm. He was among them. Anthony Slater. How are you today, Anthony?
I'm doing good. I'm on the way down to Warriors Pelicans right now.
Ooh. What? Warriors Pelicans? You know we got a big game tonight right here in Sac.
A very large game. Two very large games, 90 miles apart. I wish I could go to both.
What? Yeah. Oh, what really jumped out to you about the Kings and the Pelicans last night, Anthony, other than the fact that the Kings obviously just cannot stop them?
Yeah. There's that. I think the thinning depth on the Kings is becoming more glaring, with Herter down, with Monk down. They tried Colby Jones for a couple minutes. I think they were minus 15 in those minutes. Duarte got a shot the second half. He hasn't had that great of a season. Mike Brown is searching, and this is a time of the year you don't want to be searching rotationally. You want to feel set, and they're not, and you can tell last night.
Anthony, I know you talk to the Warriors, talk to Lakers, Kings. How are they, you think, viewing the opportunity that's still ahead with the play-in tournament? Or do you sense any kind of defeated attitude among some of these teams?
Well, I think the Lakers and the Warriors have known this was their life for a long time, right? I mean, they've just been desperately trying to get into the 7-8 side of it, and both of them still can. I think the Kings, the difference is they have been thirsty for the 6th seed, and realistically in the 6th seed. Remember, you go back a couple of weeks ago when they had the Mavericks in town, for that 2-game set. Like, it felt like if they could have got 2 wins, then you would have felt like they're in the driver's seat for the 6th, which is huge now in this new playing world, the difference between 6 and 7. But during that 2-game set, they lose 2 games to Dallas, and they lose Malik Monk. And the Monk injury, it's just massive. I mean, nobody can replicate what he does. You feel it in these games, and they have this lack of scoring punch now suddenly on their roster. So I think, I don't want to say defeated for the Kings, but it definitely feels much more like a tumble for the Kings, 3-6 in their last 9, and the fact that they're coming to the realization that they're probably going to be an 8, 9, or 10, whereas the Warriors and the Lakers in this final weekend kind of trying to bounce past the Kings, and with, I think, a realistic opportunity.
Anthony Slater with us, of course, from The Athletic. He has a really interesting piece today in The Athletic about the play-in chase here with just a couple of games to go. You mentioned, Anthony, as we all know, the Kings really feeling the loss of Monk and Herter. Do you think it's fair to say that they're paying the price right now for having not done anything to bolster the roster at the deadline?
Yeah, you can say that about any team, any fringe level contender that did or didn't do anything at the deadline. Extra, better rotation players is always useful. I don't necessarily blame the Kings for not, using first round picks and emptying the barrel for this team necessarily. And you never know what was out there. Should they have gone harder after Siakam? Would it have been wise to do what the Pacers did? And sounds like the Pacers are committing to Siakam long term at a really hefty price. And Anunoby's another guy, maybe. But also, I do think there's a long term view still overhead for this Kings team, and it's beyond this season. And if they had gone and gotten an extra rotation piece and Malik Monk still gets hurt, they're probably not going to make a long run in the playoffs. And we'll also see, Monk is not out for the season. He's just out to a point that the Kings have to survive long enough to get him back, and we'll see. To me, it is just massive for the Kings to try to stay in the 8th spot, because not only do you get 2 cracks at, advancing into the playoffs, but you can probably avoid the Nuggets. If you're in the 9-10, the best you can do is get the 8th seed, and right now it's looking like the Nuggets are going to be the 1 seed. You do not want that.
That's a good point right there. Anthony Slater joining the Drive Guys here on Sactown Sports 1140. When you look at the play-in teams that are currently there right now, Phoenix, Sacramento, Lakers, and Warriors, assess their chances of making some noise in the postseason, at least winning the round in the postseason.
Well, again, I'm of the belief that the Timberwolves are vulnerable as they kind of reincorporate Karl Anthony Towns, and the Thunder are vulnerable just because of their youth and lack of just, inside presence. So I think one of those 2 teams will be the 2 seed. So I think whoever wins the 7-8 play-in game has a real shot in the first round. That could be the Kings, that could be the Warriors, Lakers, and at this point, either Phoenix or New Orleans are the most likely to be in the 7th spot. So I would just categorize whoever is in that 7-8 and whoever wins that 7-8 is the team most likely to make noise. Where if you're in the 9-10, you play Wednesday night, you play Friday night, and if you survive that, you kind of are probably going to wobble into Denver for a Sunday afternoon game 36 hours later to get blown out by 25 points in game 1. And, we'll see. And again, Denver hasn't clinched one. They have two. If they win their last 2 games and it's against easy opponents, they clinch it. I just expect Denver to be the one. So, and then I guess if I take 2 steps back to answer your question, I probably believe in the Warriors and Lakers a bit more than the Kings right now because the Warriors and Lakers are healthy and the Kings aren't. I just don't think we can overstate the fact that the Kings lost really probably their 3rd or 4th best player and maybe their 6th best player.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Slater with us. Are the Warriors, Slates, are they feeling better about themselves than they have all year? And should they feel that way?
Yeah, I think they are. The Trace Jackson-Davis rise as a starting center next to Draymond Green has solidified their defense. They have one of the better defenses in the league over the last month or so. They're healthy, as I mentioned. And Kuminga has made a 3rd-year leap and has kind of solidified himself. Clay has, I think the 2nd most made threes in the NBA since the All-Star break. He's turned his season around. Wiggins is stabilized somewhat. He had that awful start to the season. He's been decent lately, which is all they really need out of him. And they have Steph Curry. Steph Curry honestly is in a mini slump by his standards over the last few months. That's why they rested him the other night. They may try to rest him on the last game of the season if they're able to. But they're playing well. Chris Paul is guiding the 2nd unit pretty well. They're 25-11 over their last 36. Their problem this season was Draymond Green got suspended 2 times for chunk early in the season, and a lot of their veterans struggled, and they were 19-24. But since then, they've played like maybe the 4th or 5th best team in the West. That's what they are right now. But the problem is they're going to have to play out of the play-in, and they know that.
Right. Anthony Slater joining us. Slates, are we seeing the final days of Klay Thompson in a Golden State Warriors uniform?
I think there's a chance of that. I think how this season ends matters. What the Warriors ownership group feels comfortable paying for their entire team with this crazy luxury tax bill they pay matters. And I think the fact that, let's say they go into the play-in and get eliminated, you're talking about Joe Lacob looking in the mirror and saying, I just paid a historic tax bill for a 9 seed that didn't even get into a playoff series. Like, is that palatable? Do I need to slash salary? Do I need to get under the tax? And, Klay Thompson's an easy way to get under the tax if he goes from $43 million to 0. And Klay's played well enough to believe that, there's an Orlando, there's a Philadelphia out there that might be willing to give him $25 million a year, something like that. And then the Warriors have to, look at their books and just try to figure out if they're willing to do that as Klay gets up there in age. And if they're not, would Klay be willing to come back on a discount? Can he tell Steph Curry he's leaving, tell Draymond Green, leave this thing that has been built over the last decade? I think there's a lot of relationships involved here. There's a lot of equity, but there's also financial, concerns and transitional, or do the Warriors want to turn some minutes over to Moses Moody? What's Chris Paul's future? There's just a lot going on with the Warriors, and I do think whether they do make a little bit of mini playoff run or they don't could dictate what they do.
And Anthony, we'll let you go on this one. How about Malik Monk? How likely do you think he is to return to the Kings?
Well, in the offseason. I thought you meant during the playoffs. I was like, gonna matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have been clear. Yeah. I should have been clear. Yeah, I should have been clear.
Yeah. No. I think the Kings will put the best offer they can on the table, which I don't remember the exact numbers. It's like 4 years, 70-something million, starting at like 17.1 a year, which feels on like the lower end of his market. And he's been happy there. He's kind of, his career has really kind of been boosted and trampoline there. But, I did an interview with him. I know you guys know, however long ago it was, about a month ago. And he mentioned what happened in the postseason and how the Kings overall felt about the growth of this core and where it was going would matter. And it's kind of weird because he got injured, and now if they get eliminated in the next week or so, it's almost an unanswered question. You can't say that this core didn't, produce this season, I'm not sure they got a chance. And I know Monk's of the belief, and I know he will be of the belief, if they get eliminated without him, he could have made the difference, right? So he'll have to look at the offers that are out there. Will a team take him into the 20+ million range? And it's a possibility. And then what is that, is that going to be a winner? Can he believe he's going to win with the Kings? It's going to be, I think, a little bit of a drama around Monk's free agency.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate your time very much. Enjoy the game tonight. Talk to you soon.
All right, y'all.
All right, Big O.
Anthony Slater from The Athletic. Yeah, really interesting piece on the play-in The Athletic today. When we come back, all A signs continue to point to one thing. Yeah, we're the Sacramento A's looks like it's going to happen. Although they won't call themselves that, of course. We're right back with that from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
We love the game because anything can happen. There's no sure thing.
How did that go in?
Every play,
Oh, my goodness.
every shot,
Are you kidding me?
every swing is a risk if you bet.
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no easy money. There's no luck. And no one wins all the time. If you bet responsibly and always set a limit. Learn more at responsibleplay.org.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Our first year is
I looked at you, you stole my heart. You are all that I anticipated.
Local every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I think Jay's got a little bit of a flashback Friday going. Drive guys with you.
All the old school cuts, huh?
Yeah. Congratulations to your guy, Tiger Woods, making the cut.
My guy, Tiger Woods, man, and I haven't been able to watch him much, obviously.
Well, you got it on, right? I can see it. Yeah,
I know, but he's already completed, man. I'm watching over here. Tough conditions out there at Augusta.
Ooh, look at the flag stick, yeah.
Wind was no joke. I got in a round this morning as well.
Yeah.
Played with my guy, Dan. I only got through 17 holes because I had to be here on time and ready to go.
How many Kirklands did you spot?
2, and they were both Dan's. Like, it's funny. Dan's my guy. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Dan. But we're on hole 17. It might have been 15. 15 or 17. And, my ball was in the rough somewhere, and I'm looking, and I spot a ball, and I'm like, nah, this isn't my ball. It was a Kirkland.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, Dan, this is yours. I knew he didn't even hit it over there or anything, but I just knew. I saw a Kirkland. I'm like, yeah, that's my guy's Dan. He's like, oh, that must be the one I hit from the other tee 4 holes ago. And I was like, yeah, I knew it. So
it sounds like Kirklands are everywhere, literally in your yard.
In my yard, finding them on the course. I mean, I would beg that they're one of the top sellers out there.
I guess so.
Like, and so we played with Dan's wife, and she doesn't even play with Kirklands. I'm like, Dan, what are you doing, man? Like, even his wife didn't play with Kirklands. But no, we had a good time, man.
Would it impress you if I told you this is true? I once outdrove a PGA Tour pro. Would that impress you? It's a fact.
I guess it would, but it got to be something with an asterisk next to it. Like he hit from his knees, or he was using an old persimmon wood or something like that.
It was my buddy David Sutherland, and we were playing Antelope Greens. I know you've been out there. And I hit like a 3-wood, and I outdrove him by probably 8 yards. He was rehabbing from an injury, and he hit left-handed with one hand like a sawed-off 5-wood.
I told you.
And I got him, but not by much.
You got him, though. That's
not by
claim
much.
To fame right there. You're like, holding on to that. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, no, that's interesting, man. That's all right. You got I told you
he had
that
a wrist
time.
injury, and he was like, he's just, I'm just working on my other hand. And then he hit it really well.
It's unbelievable, man. And I told you about the time I was in the golf little charity thing. And, at one hole, they got the long drive champ. And he's like, I guarantee I'll drive you from my knees.
Yeah.
Hitting left hand. I'm like, that's easy money. Sure enough, he smacked it like 280. Wow. I'm like, wow, that's ridiculous.
Wow. I am excited about the A's coming here. I think it's very strange. The more we hear about it, the more questions there are. And we touched on this earlier this week. It really looks right now, the more signs we get, the more it looks like John Fisher's end game is to sell the A's. Not right away, of course. He moves here. He doesn't have to pay anything, right? No rent.
Yep.
He can build up the value of the team, wait for Sacramento to get a bid together, wait for the value of the team to increase. That Vegas thing, it looks like basically he'd have to spend $1 billion to increase his franchise value by $1 billion.
Wow.
So why would he want to do that? So I think he's coming here and he's just going to sit a little bit and then he's going to pit maybe us against Oakland. Sacramento might be able to buy the A's. I think he's going to sell them. I think that's what this is about.
You think in his mind right now, he's thinking at some point I'm going to sell him. That's my end goal with all of this.
Yes, I think another tell, and when I told you this a couple days ago, you touched on this. The farm system right now, somebody who does a pod about farm system, I think this might have been, is it Eno Saris? Anyway, he said if the A's started right now working on their farm system, getting it up to speed, he said in 5 or 6 years, they'd be 5 or 6 years behind everybody else.
Wow.
So in other words, they haven't spent any money on that.
Right.
Well, when you're moving into a new stadium, a new city, you want to build up your farm system. So when you get there, you can show everybody, look at this. We got a new up and coming team. They're really good. The A's aren't doing that. So I think they're going to sell.
Why not stay in Oakland and do that, though? Why not stay in Oakland if you're going to sell?
Well, maybe they would have, except they got an offer up here where they have to pay rent.
They don't have to pay anything. Huh?
Plus, they get away from all the protesters a little bit. Who knows? I think there's still going to be a ton of protesters.
Oh, there's going to be tons up here.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just a short drive.
There was a guy sitting there last night with a cell shirt. Did you see
Really?
that?
No, I didn't see that.
Row.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to see more of those, and I would like to see him sell.
And is Vivek positioning himself in the ownership group of the Sacramento Kings, positioning themselves to get a deal here? I was speaking with one owner yesterday about that very thing. They didn't tell me, what the end game was or anything like that, but they were excited to have the A's come to town. And then we were talking about infrastructure. Where would a stadium be? Is it rail yards? Is it on the current site? Right now, no, I'm not just saying. I'm just nothing. I don't have anything. This is just some of the things we were talking about. That's it. I don't have anything to report.
Drapes has a scoop, and he's sitting on it.
Not at all. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But yeah, it's in the back of people's minds, if you will, about the future of the A's and could it be sustained here in Sacramento?
Well, one of the things that didn't quite make sense to me was, wait, Sacramento's doing this because they might get an expansion team. I mean, yeah, they might, but that still seems like a real long shot.
Yeah.
Because there's one spot available, and we're already behind a lot of cities. But now this way, you bring them here, and maybe you increase your chances of ending up with that franchise.
It'd be like common law marriage.
I suppose.
You're not getting married, but if you stay long enough, you might as well be, right? The A's stay long enough, they might as well just stay here in Sacramento.
That said, it's still an embarrassment that this is going on in baseball. That especially if he is going to sell the team, that we're going to move to a minor league park for 3 years so that we can make more money, and then I'll sell it. That's
A's are the laughing
bad look
of the league right now, and they're actually off to a decent start, right? To the season.
Yeah,
for them. It's all relative, right?
They
didn't take the series yesterday,
huh?
They lost yesterday. But for them, they strung together a few wins, and what they had won 3 out of 4, I think, or something like that. And so they're off to a solid start.
Mm-hmm. So something to keep an eye on. It's still, I'll be honest with you, I understand it, but I still have a hard time dealing with the reality that, next April, the Sacramento A's will be opening the season.
Opening day.
At Sutter Health. They just won't call themselves that. But doesn't that seem bizarre?
It does. But I tell you what if that first series is against the A's, the Angels, somebody like, some big day, the Red Sox, can you imagine what it would be like in Sacramento? And then this time of year next year, Kings playoff game at night, A's game during the day, or imagine that, man. It's gonna be bumping here in Sacramento, man.
Yeah. Or A's World Series in Sacramento as the Kings open the season.
Right.
Imagine that.
Now you're talking crazy. Oh man.
I'm just looking forward to finding out what's next, because I feel like I'm not trusting anything that we're being told yet. I feel like okay, well, let me just wait and see what happens next.
Right. Let me ask you this: are we at a simmering point now with news regarding the A's? We won't know the Vegas thing fell through or is good for a while, right?
I don't know when the state Supreme Court there, they heard it last week. I don't know when they're scheduled to hear it again. That could be something that comes out of a blue bolt out of the sky one day. You
Right,
know,
you just going about
sooner or
your
later, like,
business
the Vegas ballpark is going to go to a public vote, which I would think for baseball and for the A's, they would say, well, we don't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
we don't. If it's going to go on the ballot, we're probably going to lose, so we're out. Right. Baseball does not want that going to a vote because voters now, like they did in Kansas City, more and more, they're saying we're tired of all the handouts.
Well, let me ask you this then, and we've talked about it shortly, but what would you do in Sacramento? Would it have to be brought to where are those funds coming from?
A good question.
Down the line. I know I'm putting the cart before the horse or anything like that, but if we are going to be home of Major League Baseball, the stadium needs to change. Let's call it what it is. It's not Major League caliber right now. Where do we get that money and who foots that bill?
I don't know, but I would think part of the next 3 years or however long they're here will be about developing that goodwill, that bond with the community. Like, look how great this is. We're Major League Baseball. Oh, isn't this great to have the A's? Oh, by the way, we need a lot of money.
Right.
Help us build a stadium. And a lot of people, if it works, that'll be part of it in a couple of years. More people will be willing, I would guess, to say, all right, yes,
okay,
I will
help you.
I'll vote in favor of that. I want to have that here.
Especially like you said, if they see it succeed and it looks good. Right now, it's just sort of abstract. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think? Is it going to happen? Are the A's going to end up staying in Sacramento? Like staying?
You can't put me on the spot that.
Well, what
do you think?
I think there's about a 40% chance.
So that means no.
Probably no, but it means there's a real chance, in a couple of months ago, it's like there's no chance Sacramento's getting a baseball team.
I think there's a chance. Yes, I'm with you on that because I don't think Vivek, the Kings ownership group, I don't think they would do that just for the hopes of an expansion team. I think they're banking. Maybe they know about the Vegas deal and already knows it's shaky. And so they're positioning themselves. So, yeah, I'd put it about 40 also.
I also think the A's, because the Kings are involved, they're going to have their own green beam, but we're never going to see it because they're never going to have enough.
Never going to win.
Turn it on. All right. When we come back, what difference does it make where you're seated in the play-in? We have those actual numbers for you next year. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions. plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
DQ presents the sound of BOGO-free Blizzard treats in the DQ app. It's the sound of downloading the DQ app, redeeming the sweetest BOGO-free Blizzard deal, telling all your friends, and heading to DQ. For BOGO-free any-size Blizzard treats only in the DQ app for a limited time. Download it today. At participating locations, limitations apply. DQ. Happy tastes good.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Just birdie here in the 16, so now he's 4 over with the cut projected to be at 5 over. Finally, Tiger Woods, who sits at 1 over shooting at 72 today, he'll break the record for the most consecutive Masters cuts made with 24. Those are your Master Leaderboard standings, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Now more of the Drive guys coming up.
My posse's on Broadway. Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
In one center where the Kings tonight take on the Phoenix Suns, and we're going to honor Chris Webber, who right now is on the video board. He spoke with the media today. He's in town, of course, to say hi to everybody and to promote his new memoir. He's going to be here tonight. He's going to be at Oak Park tomorrow. He's going to be at the River Cats game tomorrow. And he's going to be back here on Sunday. Before we get to anything else, though, my apologies to you, Drapes. My apologies to A's fans. Thank you, Jay. The A's were victorious yesterday.
They won yesterday, huh?
Yeah, so my apologies. Yeah, they're 5-8.
5-8. Same record as the Giants. Giants are 5-8 also. It's golfing with an A's fan, and they made sure to point that out. That, we got the same record as the Giants.
Yeah, well, I was mistaken. Okay. I apologize.
You're human, man. You're not perfect. I know some people think you are. You're loyal listeners and everything, but you're human. It's all good.
Jay, can I get your views on that? Do you think the A's, what are the chances the A's end up becoming permanently the Sacramento A's? You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think a high percentage. I said it last week, fellas, and I think it was with you, White. Vivek is a sharp individual. And if you don't think what I would say this, I think, and we're all captive of social media. I think a lot of people on social media, because of the feelings and emotions were high, a lot of people were talking bad about what was going on with Sacramento Kings, company and Vivek. But you can't tell me Vivek hasn't had these conversations with John Fisher and Dave Cavill about if something goes awry, I want to be in the bidding war with probably Mr. Lacob. I really think there's a decent percentage. I don't know where we want to put that right now. I know, as you said, Drace, we might be putting the cart before the horse, but I'm gonna tell you like this, fellas, the horse is bucking. The horse he's out of the stable. He's bucking. He has, we probably have already, mounted him, and we're, in one of those little stables where you kind of roll around, trot around inside the little pieces of wood. I don't know what that's called, but we're trotting around right now.
Dang, we're that close to it, huh?
Wow. Right. Well, when I first heard about it, the whole thing, it just seemed like this isn't quite what it looks like it is on the surface. But if you look at it from that standpoint, I think it makes a ton of sense that's something that is a possibility that people are talking about and working on.
No, for sure. I mean, and even if because
you talked to somebody last night.
I talked to somebody last night.
Can't tell us.
Right. But even if it hasn't been verbalized, come on, man. You got if we're thinking that, they got to be thinking that, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, it's we have no allegiances to Vegas. Don't want to make this a Vegas Sacramento thing, but we're rooting for that to fail, right? Like we're rooting.
It's already failed.
It's oh shoot,
it has. It's already a failure. Yeah, based on some of the things I've heard from some people in Vegas.
Wow, you got some context too?
No, I'm just talking about the people on Twitter.
People on Twitter.
I literally got one tweet, about the A's thing and how bad I feel for Oakland, and somebody tweeted me, "Shut up." It's like that's you can't. Delete your account if that's the best you got,
Shut
right?
up.
Shut up. Like, oh, come on. You're better than that. We all got to be better than that. One of the things Jay has been saying for a long time, we've said it a million times. Yeah. If this season for the Kings had come last year, and, last year had come this year, everything would seem great, right? It'd be like, oh, man, they made the play in, and then the next year, they had the great year. It's just so tough. Last year was such a tough act to follow with the beam and with the breaking the drought and with the clutch player of the year and with the coach of the year and with two guys all league. That was a tough act to follow.
It was. And, and I think actually in the whole scheme of things, they've done an admirable job because you bring back the same squad. Your offseason acquisitions don't really pan out. The Western Conference is more difficult this year, more top heavy this year. And you got a chance to almost match your win total from a season ago, maybe even have 47 wins, one short of that. And I think, I know it feels like it's a down year or it's a disappointing year, but given all that, they've done a hell of a job, I think.
Yeah, so now you're in the play-in. Where do you finish in the play-in? We don't know, but it does make a difference. As you may know, crunching some numbers here, we've had the NBA current format of the play-in since 2021. So you look at the brief history of the play-in. Teams have finished 7th.
Yep.
They ended up as the 7th seed 5 times, as the 8th seed 1 time. They always advance. To this point, the 7th seed has always gone into the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
5 times as a 7, 1 time as the 8. The 8th seed has ended up as the 7th seed 1 time, as the 8th seed twice, 3 times the 8th seed, and didn't get into the playoffs.
3 times the 8th seed.
The 9th seed has finished, the highest you could finish is, of course, 8th. 3 times the 9th seed has ended up as the 8th seed. 3 times the 9th seed, has not.
3 and 3.
Yes. And then the 10th seed has never advanced to the NBA playoffs.
So out of the 6, let me do my math.
It's a little
12
complicated.
opportunities. The 9 or 10 seed has only made it in 3 times, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to stay out of that 9-10.
Yes.
With what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Based on the math, if I do the math
Small
correct,
sample size, but still, it's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear that 9-10.
No bueno.
No bueno, because then you got to win 2 games.
Yeah.
And it
Especially
just
if
doesn't
you're
happen.
10, you got to win 2 road games.
Right, 2 road games
Uh-huh.
at that. And so, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that 9-10 matchup, because think about it like this. We're talking about who we would want to face, whether it's Phoenix, LA, Golden State. You finish in that 9-10, you're going to have to face them twice. Like, you're going to have to go through Steph and then maybe have to go through LeBron just to get into the top 8, into the playoffs. And so I don't want any kind of smoke with those guys for 2 games. And like Anthony Slater said, you play Wednesday, you play Friday, whip-de-freaking-do, you get through and you got to go to Denver for a Sunday game.
Right.
Like, come
You're
on,
basically down one
You're
game.
down already. Yes, exactly. As soon as you get into that. And so it is critical we get a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah, you win that first game, you got some time off even.
You got some time off. Win that Tuesday game. Now you can prepare for a Saturday playoff game.
But after what we've seen the last 2 games, is it fair, reasonable? Forget fair.
All right.
We're fans. It's all fair. Is it reasonable to expect that this Kings team, shorthanded as they are, can actually can do that, can win this game, and then can beat the Trailblazers? That should be doable, right?
That's definitely
tonight,
doable.
of course, being the key.
Right. Yeah. Tonight is the key. It's doable. But you need some help too. You need the Suns to play like they did against the shorthanded Clippers team, where Devin Booker only had 1 field goal. It's unlikely, but you need them to have an off night. How come we always got to be the ones with the off night? You know what I mean? How come Pelicans come in and they're not necessarily, they don't fire a whole lot of threes, but they made them against us? Like, why can't Phoenix come in and go 6 of 29 from 3-point range today?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, wasn't Coach Brown talking about that? Not whining about it, but basically saying it'd be nice to get some breaks along the way.
Right.
Maybe the basketball god said, last year we gave you all a break.
Yeah.
You were going to get for a while.
Now you got to earn it.
Yeah.
Now you got to go out there and earn
it. You know what really stinks is that Hollinger and all those guys before the season, remember they said, the Kings won't be that good because they won't be healthy. And we said, what do you know? And it turned out they were right.
They were right. I know. And you know as well as I do, injuries are different at different points of the season.
Yeah.
Like if we're missing Malik for 4 to 6 in October, November, okay, we can still rally. But to have 2 of our guys out in the most important part of the season, it's hard to overcome.
Yeah, but it sounds like Anthony Slater says, if they can keep playing long enough, he'll be back.
Right, that's the way.
At some point.
Exactly. I think if you do get into the playoffs, I look at the second week of the playoffs as a Malik Monk target date.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Tonight, there's a very good chance that this could be a bust-out night for Domas, because in that loss at Phoenix on the 13th of February, he had 35, 18, and 12 with 9 offensive rebounds, made 7 of 8 free throws. Now, the Kings lost that game 130 to 125, but that was one of those rare games where, the 2 best players, Fox and Domas, both had huge games.
Yeah.
Hawks had 40, and Domas was, like I said, 35, 18, and 12, and they still lost that game.
And they still lost that game. How'd they lose that game? Was that a Grayson Allen game? Or so I haven't looked up the box score on that one. I don't think, because I think we've done a great job against Devin Booker so far this season. I feel like we've done a good job against him. It's been some of the others that I think that have really given us fits.
And not that you'd wish, ill health on anybody, but not Devin Booker, but Grayson Allen, who didn't he have 9 threes in one of those
9
games?
threes, yeah.
He's been hobbled. He didn't even start the last game.
Came
I
off
think
the
he
bench.
fell and hurt his hip, and he's been hobbled a little bit. Royce O'Neal started the last game for them.
And remember, Royce O'Neal hit a big 3 against us, last.
Who hasn't?
Right, exactly.
Dante Exum, whatever.
Yes,
deadline.
But, I go back to the trade deadline. Royce O'Neal, that was a guy we had talked about as potentially a target for the Kings. Well, he's paid dividends for the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix went out there and made some moves. I think when you look back at this season, Monty's inability to make moves, it's probably one of the biggest, missteps. And I know he tried, no doubt about it. It is what it is, but it seemed like everybody else was going for it and it was able to do something, and we didn't pull anything off.
Yeah, that's how I've been feeling very strongly. That's where my frustration has been focused for the most part. But then we just had Anthony Slater on. And Anthony Slater obviously follows us very closely. He said, well, so you could say that, but, the prices for guys like Royce O'Neal, what was it, couple twos? It was pretty heavy.
Yeah, but it was
a pretty heavy price tag for some of those guys. I think it was definitely a seller's market, as I recall. So some of those guys were going for more than Monty was willing to part with. Now down the road, if you're able to convert those picks that you held on to worthwhile assets, then you win. We just won't know for a while. But I guess Anthony's point is, look, let's say you get Royce O'Neal, and then let's say Monk gets hurt. Are you really that much better right now?
Right.
You're a little better, but you're worth giving up
right.
some future asset.
No, you're right.
I have a hard time understanding that, but it does make some sense. Emotionally, no.
Right.
Intellectually, I'm
Get
working
something done.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
I look at my boy Daniel Gafford and what he's doing out there in Dallas.
Oh, PJ Washington.
How come we couldn't get in on guys like that? And I think that's why a lot of the fans want this. IT has walked onto the floor.
There he is.
I'm about to go down there.
Yeah.
Can I go down?
Yeah.
I'm going to go down. He's going to go through his warm-ups. I'm going to try to get him on after his warm-up.
Uh-huh.
Can I do
you
that?
spotted him as soon as he came out.
I've been waiting for him. I knew he'd be one of the early guys. And so I'm about to go down there and holler at him.
Yeah. You want to do that right now?
I'm going to do that right now.
All right.
I'm going to do that. You could give the play-by-play of me going down there to holler at IT. Hold on.
All right.
I'm going down. Hold on.
Isaiah Thomas has the ball in hand. He's just starting his little warm-up flips there. Looks like there's a couple of coaches out there. Yeah. We got the 2 headsets right on the end of the table. Kyle Draper going down there, and RJ set up. Yeah, RJ set up the table for us, Jay.
Shouts out to RJ, one of the best engineers in the game.
Yes, he got here early to make sure this was set up. We have 2 headsets down there, and if we can get Isaiah on, we will be able to hear Isaiah and Kyle, and it's going to be interesting to see how Kyle plays this. I should probably videotape this because
you got to whip out the camera.
He's got to be kind of casual about it, and you know how players are, Jay. I wouldn't blame him if he's busy because right now he has started his pregame shots.
Sure,
he has started his pregame workout, so he may just be, dude, I'm working.
Well, you know how it goes.
Spring training once.
Yeah. Oh, go
ahead.
Please tell your story.
No, I was just going to say one time spring training, I didn't know what I was doing because I had just started. And so I wanted to get interviews with players. And Carney Lansford was in the dugout at Phoenix Stadium. So I was like, hey, Carney, he went in to tie his shoe. I'm like, hey, I'm from so-and-so. Do you think I could do an interview with you? And he goes, I got to take my headset off because he goes, I am working. And so
that's a great
okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I got it. It's like, all right. I just didn't know. Okay. Right now, Drapes is down there. He's at the baseline here as Isaiah
he's being
Thomas
seen
is shooting 16-footers.
Yeah.
He walked by and now he's sitting down.
Yes.
So he did the casual walk by. Yeah. and he's sitting down on the baseline.
That's the B scene. You know how this goes, Whitey, man. You've been married for a long time, and I would imagine you were able to, meet your fantastic wife in some form or fashion, and you just had to get her, get the look, right? Like you had to get her attention from the jump. And so that's what Drapes is doing right now. He's probably being around the area. So when IT is going through his workout, he sees Drapes and he knows afterwards. So he's probably already, gave him the head nod.
He
probably
just got
gonna dap him.
Yeah, he just got up, Jay.
Yeah.
He just got up and walked along the baseline while Isaiah is shooting. And I think what Drapes is doing, he's walking along the sideline. He'll be a little closer to Isaiah, but I think he realizes that Isaiah's working. And so he doesn't want to interrupt his
not
shooting
yet.
drills. I think, yeah. And I think right now Drapes putting the headset on, so we may be able to hear him.
Okay.
He just walked past one headset. I'm not sure he knows where his headset is there. There he goes. Yeah, that's the one, Drapes. Oh, put that one back down. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he's looking at us now. There he is.
There you go.
Hey, what's up, guys? All right, I'm on now. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Are we on the air? Are we on the air?
You're on the air.
So I just talked to IT.
Okay.
I said, dude, when you going to come on the radio show, fam? He said, bro, you got to hit me up. I said, I don't have your number. At least I think I have his old number. I said, my producer, Jay, he been trying to get at you. He's like, yo, if you hit me up, I'll come on.
See?
And so that's I'm no lie.
See?
No lie. That's exactly what my guy is saying. So I'm going to let him go, be respectful, let him go through his warm up, and then try to get a throw on the headset here. Now, RJ, we got 2 headsets, so I could do this one and he could do that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Other end of the table says visiting radio, but it's not. It's you.
It's
That
me.
boy, that's
Okay.
what we do.
All right. Yeah. So, no, it's good to see him out here. So we chopped it up already. See, I think Jay been sandbagging, man. I think.
When did you talk to him? Because I saw you walk along the baseline, and I didn't see you having words with. Then I saw you walk back.
When I said I was sitting down right there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing interrupt the warm up.
Right.
And so I'm gonna let him do his thing, But
yeah,
no, he was like, "Yo, you got to hit me up." And I said, "I don't think I got his new number or whatever." And so he said, "Man, if you would have hit me up, I would have came on."
Wow.
Okay. So I don't know. I think Jay out here sandbagging or something. He trying to pour salt into the game. I see how it is, Jay.
All right. So yeah, we're waiting for Isaiah as in his warm-ups. Drace, we're supposed to talk to Tom Chambers here. Do you want to go ahead and talk to Tom Chambers and then still just hang tight on Isaiah Thomas? Or
yeah. And I can stay down here, right, and talk to Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, we'll be right back. Tom Chambers, he's the Suns pre- and post-game analyst, and he was the All-Star Game MVP in '87, and he'll break down this matchup for us as Drapes waits for Isaiah Thomas to join us. Drive guys with a lot going on this Friday on Sactown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team. Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Plus, with free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation today. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tub Shed, New Dawn Treatment Sensors, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Well, I guess it would be nice.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Gotta have faith. Isaiah Thomas had faith. That's why he's warming up right now back in the NBA as we get ready for the Kings and the Suns. Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper on the floor, hoping to get a chance to chat with Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've already chopped it up, man. I'm being respectful, though. See, Whitey, I'm not one of those media members that just barge in. The dude's at his job. He's working on his craft right now. So
I understand that, yeah.
As soon as, he's done, I'll go holler at him, chop it up.
Right now, nice enough to join us, Suns pre- and post-game analyst. He was an outstanding NBA player, 16 years in the league. Of course, probably best known for being the All-Star Game MVP in 1987. The great Tom Chambers with us. Tom, thanks so much for your time. We know the Suns had a bad loss this week, but they've won 8 of 12. Where are the Suns heading into this crucial game against the Kings tonight?
That's a $300 million question. I don't know. I mean, where they're at is right where the Kings are. I mean, both teams need a win, and it's gonna be a battle. I mean, these two teams always go at it. I mean, it's like we clashed the Titans. So I expect the Suns to come out and play well, but they've been a mixed bag. I mean, one night it's terrific, and then the next night they lose to somebody that should never happen. So it's been tough.
Hey, Tom, Kyle Draper here, man. How would you gauge the mood of the fan base there? Because, obviously, here in Sacramento, there were high hopes, high expectations, and there's some frustrations being echoed from their fan base. And I've maintained, well, they're probably having the same discussions in Los Angeles and San Francisco and Phoenix. What's the mood of the fan base down there?
Oh, they're frustrated. I mean, they're confused at times. I mean, this team is, they're down 35 points in the first quarter, and then they almost come back and win the basketball game. So what are you going to get? And it is frustrating. There's been some bad moments. The fans have, calling for the coach's head or saying that KD's not doing this or whatever is not doing that. So it's been, it's surprising to say the least, not from the fans, but just the play of the Suns. I mean, you just can't guess what's going to happen. And in the fourth quarters, I mean, that's just been the worst. Obviously, your team's good in the fourth quarter, and the Suns team has just been absolutely brutal in the fourth quarter.
Catching up with Tom Chambers. He was a 4-time All-Star. He's a Suns analyst. Tom, what would you say that Kings do well that concerns the Suns the most about them heading into this matchup tonight?
Well, I mean, just Sabonis. I mean, he's always been a load. He's a 20-20 guy, I think, every night against this Phoenix Suns team, plus 10 assists. And then Fox is so great in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, the same thing that the Kings pose to every other team. I watch the box scores. I don't see every night, the frustrations you guys have had. When I see them play, it seems like, everything's clicking pretty good. Obviously, a couple of key injuries to their strength, to their depth is really decimated them lately. But the Kings play the same way. They had the same rotation. They had the same guys doing what they did. So I thought they were poised to make a run, and then all of a sudden, the injuries have really crippled them.
Hey, Tom, can you tell me about you guys' defense? One of the things when I look at matchups, like we saw the Pelicans last night, their perimeter defense really bottled us up. How about Phoenix's defense? I know you guys have elite offensive weapons. How's the defense been?
It's been good in spurts. I mean, when the Suns play defense, oh my gosh, they're unbeatable because then they're running downhill, they're fast breaking, nobody can get back into whatever they're going to set up defensively. They can't get back in the zone. It's hard to double team Book if he's hot or has it going on. So they have to have good defense. They understand that their communication, they're saying, has been a lot better. KD can play defense. Bradley Beal had 5 block shots the other night. Devin Booker's an underrated defender, so they're there. And when Nurk is engaged on the inside, he's pretty good too. So I like this Suns team. I like their defense, but it's just been so sporadic, and then they can say, well, the injury's this and the injury's that. Well, there hasn't been injuries for the past, 20 games. And they need to be dialed in. And obviously the Kings do too. I mean, it's just been frustrating lately for them because, you talk about the 4 teams that are right now out of the playoffs, well, in the play-in, I should say, those 4 teams I would have put in the top 6 in the West. And there's 4 of those teams right down there. When he's on Golden State, the Lakers, Sacramento, and obviously the Suns now too.
Tom Chambers is with us, a former Sun. He was a great NBA player. He's now a Suns analyst. Grayson Allen has, to say the least, shot the ball pretty well against the Kings so far this year. I think he had 9 threes in one game. Is he a little hobbled right now, Tom?
He's had a hip. He's tough. He's going to play. But he doesn't look like he's moving quite as well as he had been. But he wants to be in every basketball game. But then again, that being said, which player isn't got an owie or a boo-boo right now? Everybody's dealing with something at this time of the season, So it is tough, but yeah, he's a tough kid. He's been a gamer, and yeah, he's had some good games against you guys, as he has against a lot of other teams. But lately, it hasn't been there for him as much. Even staying in front of people hasn't been as good. So yeah, I would have to say that hip is bothering him.
Tom Chambers, enjoy the call tonight. Have a great call. We appreciate your time, and we hope to talk to you soon, sir. Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, we're going to go onto the floor now. Kyle Draper is standing by. Does he have his headset on? Oh, he doesn't have his headset on, though. So he is right now talking to Isaiah Thomas.
Man, that was the quickest shoot around ever. I mean, did he even put a lather out there yet?
Not much of one, but Drapes right now is chatting with him, and they're too far away for Drapes to be on mic here. And
Sure.
My apologies to Tom Chambers for cutting him a little short, but I saw Drapes walking over to Isaiah Thomas, and he's trying to get him on now. And they're as Drapes say, they're chopping it up. So let's see. Drapes is walking towards the table, and Isaiah Thomas is following him. And so it appears that, yes, Isaiah Thomas waving to us. So we'll go courtside now. Yes, Kyle Draper, put on that headset.
It might be his guy.
We're good to go, Drapes. Yeah, we're good to go, Drapes. Yeah. Listen in here is Isaiah with the headset. And if one of them would put their headsets on, we could actually, there we go. Hello, Isaiah Thomas. Can you hear us, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
IT, you got me?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
We go.
Yep.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Welcome back to SAC.
Are we on? We're on?
We on the air, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm great.
First of all, man, I want to say you gave a shout out to pizza guys yesterday on Twitter. Did you get your pizza guy when you came back to SAC? You hit him up yet?
I didn't, but they're trying to make it happen. So maybe I can gift the team some pizza guys after the game.
I feel you. Appreciate you coming back, man. What's it like just being back in SAC where it all started? You know, the love that you get wherever you go, too, especially now.
Man, it's amazing. Like SAC was like my second home for a while. My first 3 years in the league, they welcomed me with open arms. It's like I grew up out here a little bit. My family loved it out here. Every time I come back to SAC, it's all love. So I appreciate the community, the organization, and everybody that, especially like that I know, you know, like we got to pass together. There's other people around here that we got to pass together as well. So it's always good to see those familiar folks.
Yeah, Isaiah, this is Kevin Gleason upstairs. Thank you so much for your time. I know you don't get as far as you've gotten by looking back, but that said, I know Coach Malone has talked about how things could have been different here with you and Rudy Gay, and because you guys were on to something. Do you ever look back at that and think, well, if management had made some different decisions, you guys might have been able to really build something special here in Sacramento?
You know, sometimes, especially when I was down and out, like when I was hurt, I was looking back on all that. So obviously we didn't win a lot of games, but we had a special group. Mike Malone was building something at that point. You know, you always look back and think about what if, especially with a guy like DeMarcus, a guy like Rudy Gay, and we were a young team at that point, just trying to find our way. But you know, things happen. You know, the game, the business of the game is you can't control that. So you can only control what you can, and that's going out there, giving it your all each and every day, and worrying about like staying in the present. And you know, but it's always good to look back at my time here, especially. You know, here, it was a lot of love here, and I grew up here.
You're beloved here. I mean, fans still, and they always will. They absolutely worship you.
And Boston, too. You know, hey, Boston, every year I feel like Boston, like, we should bring back IT. You see that love out there, though, right?
Always, man. Like, SAC and Boston are the places I stayed in the longest, and the community always shows me so much love. The fans, the organization is like, I'm super thankful for all those moments, because those moments were great in my life.
Yeah, IT, you know, one of the things that I admire about you is unwavering belief in yourself. I know you had other opportunities overseas, TV jobs, but you kept on that slow grind that you say every day on social media. Where did that come from?
Just staying down. Like you said, I believe in myself to maybe an insane I don't know. It just, I really believe in myself, and I know if I didn't believe in myself, I wouldn't have the career I had. I knew if I didn't stay down, I knew what my ultimate goal was. I knew I'm good enough to play in the league. I deserve to be in the league. I can still play at a high level. So that's what I was chasing and fighting for, is to be able to get my foot back in the league and where I belong. Like, obviously, like you said, I had offers overseas. I had TV offers. Like, those are all, like, I'm super appreciative for them. So I don't take them for granted, but I know I still got 2 or 3 or 4 years left in the league that I can still play and make an impact. Even if I don't play, I can make a positive winning impact each and every day on any organization that I'm a part of. So I'm super thankful for the Suns for giving me a chance and allowing me to be able to live out my dream of being in the NBA and playing in the NBA.
You got to take it easy on us tonight, though. We trying to get into the playoff. We trying to get that 7 seed, bro. You got to take it easy on us tonight.
Look, it's not personal, but we trying to do things too. So I can't tell you if I'm going to take it easy or if we're going to take it easy on y'all, but hopefully it's a good game.
Isaiah, this is such a special moment for us because we've been, obviously, you've been very busy, very busy. We've been trying to get you on the show. And then when you're in the G League, we were trying to figure out, well, if he comes to Stockton, can we go down there? And then we figured out, you know, and you had the 10-day, and we thought, oh, he might not be with the Suns when they come here. And so we're so happy that you're here and we have this opportunity. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Can you speak? You've been in a lot of with a lot of teams now. How special are the fans in Sacramento compared to fans now across the league? Now that you have that perspective,
they're some of the top fans I've ever been around. Especially I haven't been in Sac when you got a good team, so I can only imagine how much better the fans are, if they can even get better. Like Boston, it's hard to top Boston and everything legendary in that organization, but Sacramento Kings, like if you ask anybody in the league, you come to Sac or you playing in California, period, you're gonna see some purple and black. You're gonna see some Kings gear each in any city in the state of California, and then once you step foot in Sacramento, it's like you're gonna be in for it. Not just how good the team is, but the fans are crazy. So you being on the team, being on Sacramento, you love that, but being on the opposing, it's tough to play in here. It's tough to be in Sacramento.
IT, my last question for you, man. I was with you in Boston. You had two of the greatest seasons ever in Celtics history. We know about the championships, the banners, the legends. No matter what happens, they can't take that away from you. Describe that, and 20 years, 30 years, people are still going to be talking about your all-star seasons in Boston.
My name's cemented in there, whether I won a championship or not. Like, obviously, like when I was in the moments,
go ahead.
Obviously, when I was in those moments, I wasn't seeing how major, like, not just myself, but as a team, what we were doing until I stepped outside of those moments. So, that's just hard work and dedication and just taking advantage of the opportunity. I was ready for that type of opportunity. And when I got traded to Boston, it organically happened. And I just took advantage
fire
of it.
too, bro. It happened. Woo.
Yeah. It was good memories, and it was good moments for me in my career and my family. And I can't thank the city of Boston enough. Like, you would think I won a few championships, even when the love I get on social media, the love I get when I go back to Boston, you would think we put some banners up, but it was definitely some great moments for sure.
Hey, Isaiah, we have been calling you were Brock Purdy before Brock Purdy, being the last player picked in the draft. Are you okay with that comparison if we say Isaiah was Brock Purdy before Brock Purdy was?
Yeah, we got to see how his career ends up.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good comparison. He's a hell of a player, and he's doing his thing. So we can have that connection for sure.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. You want to get in the last one?
Yeah, I want to ask IT, coming out of well, first of all, we got to get your order at Pizza Guys, because everybody knows you the Pizza Guys guy, but we never get what you order. We don't know what's your favorite toppings. So before we let you go, we got to get that. But something I've always wanted to ask you, man, being real tough friends with Doug Christie, man, that's like one of my older brothers. The hierarchy of Seattle basketball. Like, Canton, University, Pacific, Washington, like where you come out of, Nate Robinson. I mean, there's so many guys that have come out of Seattle. Like, where do you put yourself in the mix of that?
I'm one of the top, for sure. All respect to all the older guys that did it before me. They're my big brothers. Everybody from that city has been a mentor of mine, especially that's done it before me. So I'm going to always give them respect, but they know I'm right there with them. Whoever the top guy is, I'm right there looking eye to eye with him.
Isaiah Thomas, appreciate you, man. I've been trying to get a hold of you, man. You like Drapes, you text me. I don't think you might have changed your number, fam. You changed your number.
I haven't changed anything but my jersey. My number's the same. I'm the same guy. I'm super consistent in life. So you know where to find me. I'm in the gym somewhere.
All right.
Thank you, Isaiah.
You already know.
Appreciate it, man.
Guys. Thank you.
My guy, Isaiah Thomas, man. Do your thing, baby. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Drapes.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. See?
We still didn't get his pizza order, though. We didn't get his pizza order.
Oh, my bad, Jay. My bad, Jay. Darn, I cut him off.
Is IT a mushroom guy? You think IT would go with the bell peppers and Supreme, or what is he? What is he doing?
Hold on, high flyer. IT, you a mushroom guy or no? On pizza, he didn't
What's
get
the pizza joint?
Straight pepperoni, baby. Straight.
Okay.
That's how we do it. We don't need all that Philly stuff. Straight pepperoni. That's what we do.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Drapes. Thank you, Jay.
I'm going to make my way back up.
Yes, take your time. We'll take a little time out here. When we come back, we'll tell you how history has not been kind to the Suns. We'll visit the history of the Suns and the Wayback Machine next from the Gold One Center. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Increasing clouds Friday evening. It'll be dry until first thing Saturday morning. Expect a few hours of rain for the first half of Saturday with some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Spring savings continue at Folsom Lake Kia. Low payments, special offers, zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Truck Month?
We are very excited to be celebrating 75 years in business. And what better way to celebrate than helping you get the hard-to-find heavy-duty Ram you've been looking for less. Right now, you can save up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cabs. And with California's biggest selection of new Ram trucks, you're sure to find the truck you need.
75 years. That's incredible, dude.
It all started with my grandpa and great-grandpa's dream, and it's grown over the years to where we've had a chance to serve tens of thousands of customers and show them there's something special about Hoblet you just can't get at those big city auto mall dealerships.
Come experience the difference at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
8,000 total net savings after 4,000 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 commercial bonus cash and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible First Responder Association. 5 with this discount. See dealer for details.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Kings and the Suns tonight, Gold One Center. History has not been kind to the Suns. Do you know the Suns, who came into the league in '68, they're the oldest existing NBA franchise to never win a title. The Suns are the team that's been around the longest without ever winning a title. They're the only franchise to lose 3 finals without ever winning one. And then 1969, after the first season, they lost a coin flip that would have brought them the rights to draft Lou Alcindor. So it's been kind of tough sledding for the Suns. Drapes has made it back upstairs. Thank you so much.
Hey, can I get my props?
Could you go back down and do it with Chimezi Metu?
No, oh, that's my guy. Chimezi is. Oh yeah, he's worn. That's my guy. Where's But
that was great. Thank you.
Where's Jay at? Jay, get on the mic, big fella.
I ain't nobody running from you, brother. I'm right on here.
No, you ducking the smoke right now.
Ain't no smoke, baby. There's a train around here.
Give me my props, big dog.
Of course.
I'd say I went up IT because Jay's been spinning it, ladies and gentlemen, at home and listening in the car, driving around. Jay's been spinning it like, oh, man, the only reason he's not doing the interview is because it's with you, Drapes. And I'm like, nah, IT's my guy, man. Me and him been in the mud together. We were at the bottom and helped lead the Celtics back to prominence. And so, yeah, man. So,
what was Jay supposed to do, though? I mean, that's great. What he did is great.
All I'm doing is going off when he texted me.
No, he was a little. He was hesitant at first. He gave me that side eye, like, ooh, I don't know, man. But he bailed your boy out, man. So shout out,
man. Shout out to that was good stuff too, fellas.
Yeah. How did you start? How did you? How
did I start?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how recently you've seen him. I know that you know him really well, so he recognized you. But we saw you from here, go to the other side of the stanchion, and I couldn't see you, and I think that's when you were talking with him.
Yeah, I went up. First of all, you know me. My chest is out.
Yo, we saw that.
Tall.
Yeah, I have the video.
You know what I mean? I'm like, he's back in my building. This is my home court. No, I just was super respectful. I'm like, what's up, IT? What's up, man? He's like, yo, what's up? What's up? I'm like, bro, I got to get you on this radio show. He's like, you ain't call me. I was like, my boy Jay been trying to holler at you. He's like, you got to call me yourself. And I'm like, I don't have your number. And I think I may have his number. But yeah, and then you know,
said he changed his number.
Right? New phone, who this, right?
I will say this though, Drapes. He did change his number. So I want to call IT out that way, but he did change his number.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
because it's been a minute since he was in Boston and everything, and the number I had. And so then he finished up, and I was like, yo, I gotta get you on this radio show. He's like, right now? I'm like, yeah, only a few minutes.
Yeah, is that when I saw you were pointing to him? Like,
yeah, I was like, this right there. He's like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, nah, man, just your journey back, being back in Sac. And so that's what we do here, though, on our station, man. We get the legends that come through. Isaiah Thomas. We haven't heard from IT publicly in a minute.
Yeah, the thing about this show, we don't just talk about things that are happening. We make things happen that then people can talk about.
And think about this. And RJ and Jay, we've been talking about our broadcast location is fine. But if we were down there closer to the court,
oh, man,
shoot.
Yeah.
LeBron, Durant tonight, Booker, we'd have everybody. But we're up here, you know?
Yeah, but
in the catacombs.
Hey, Jaylen Brown. Like, right. We're doing the show.
Right, exactly.
Or we'd get kicked out in 2 shows. One or the other. I don't know.
That's possible, too.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to RJ though for making that all happen, setting it up, the engineering side of things. You know, it was smooth, man. It was good stuff.
Yeah. IT picked up right away when I called. I don't know.
Jay wants to get into the IT pizza question.
Come on, man.
Look at the most. We'll get into that. And the most encouraging thing about last night's loss, was there anything encouraging about it? When we come back to the Gold One Center on a special day here for us and for the Kings and for Kings fans on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hi, everyone. It's Emran Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at SacAutographExpo.com. That's SacAutographExpo.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Alan Bastable offers 8 sneaky ways for stubbornly average players to break 80. First, play sensible tees. Hitting 7 and 8 irons into greens instead of hybrids give chances at 4s and 3s. Check the par. There's no shame in doing so on a par 70 course. 3, check the forecast. A day after rain can mean soft greens. 4, avoid big numbers. It's not the bogeys that will derail a 79. It's a couple of bigger scores. 5, you got to believe. Give yourself a pep talk and temper the feelings of gloom. 6, keep like-minded company. If you're a grinder, play with fellow grinders, or play with music, or gamble if that's your game. 7, a little luck helps. Even tour players recognize luck. 8, don't obsess over, well, breaking 80. You're going to know if you have a good round going, so have your partner keep score. At the 18th tee, ask where you stand, as it may affect the way you approach the hole. Sounds simple, huh? Now go out and do it. And have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Augusta, Georgia, we have Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, and Max Homa, who are all in the clubhouse now at 6 under. They'll head into Saturday into the weekend with a 2-hole lead over 3 different golfers. Colin Morikawa and Cameron Davis, they're at 3 under. There's a slew of players at 1 under right now, with 9 of them being a slew. Tommy Fleetwood and Cameron Young, along with 7 other golfers at 1 under. John Rahm is just in front of the cut line as he is 5 over, as the projected cut line has moved to 6 over. And finally, Tiger Woods, who sits at 1 over, shooting at 72 today, will break the record for the most consecutive Masters cut made with 24 consecutive. Those are your Master leaderboard standings, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices, always about quality. Now more of the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Playoff team. They won a playoff series, that is, for the first time in Sacramento history when Chris Webber's Kings beat the Suns. So that's a good omen. Then we just had Isaiah Thomas on. Thank you, Isaiah Thomas, for joining us. Thank you, Drapes, for going down there and lining that up. I know Jay has been working on that. RJ helped us set it up. Yeah.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out. Can you imagine if he said no? I would never be able to live that down my entire career. Like,
for a minute,
seriously.
I thought he did.
What, did you really?
Well, for a second, it didn't look like it was going.
Oh, the body language didn't look.
Yeah. And I could understand if he's out there shooting. I could see how he might say, I can't do it now.
Right. That's why I waited
like
till
that
afterwards.
sometimes. Yeah.
That's what you got to do. And especially because he's an early guy like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's going to go get a massage right now or something. But he had time. You know, he chopped it up with High Flyer, chopped it up with Miguel down there. So, yeah, man, I'm glad he did that.
Stephen Torres on the chat says, y'all made my day getting IT on. That was awesome. Now let's get a big win tonight.
Yeah.
Like the beam.
It's a big one, man. This is it, man. This is the difference between 7-8 and 9-10, basically. This is it. Because, you know, if you're Sacramento, and I know Portland is coming in shorthanded, nothing to play for, you got to think you'll win that game. You win this one, you're now within a game of Phoenix, and they have a tough game against Minnesota left. Minnesota's still playing for the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, or at least the top 2 seed. And so, you know, you got to handle your business tonight.
It would be nice, wouldn't it, to head into the playoffs with some apparent momentum. I mean, if you win your last 2, you finish 7th, or even if you finish 8th, I think it would brighten the mood around here. Because right now, it seems like everybody is thinking, oh, I mean, Carmichael Dave, like we said, they can't win a game. I wish this was over.
The momentum, man, it can shift tonight. You know, get a big win against a hungry Phoenix team. And so I understand everybody's down about last night. You know what the problem, why everybody's down, Whitey, is every big game, it seems like we come up short. Must win. Dallas must win. Can't get it done. And, you know, going to Boston up 1, can't get it done. Knicks can't get it done. And so you need one of those big psychological feel-good wins. And real quick, no Chimezi Metu. He's not on Phoenix anymore. He's where'd he go? Washington, I think.
I don't know. It's like the third time I've done that this year.
I know, right? It's like, and I fall for it every time. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go get him. And oh yeah, he's not on there anymore. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Oh well, I thought it was encouraging last night. I'm not making excuses. You know, you lose at home like that, a huge game, come out a little flat. The Pistons, thank you, and you're trailing 31-11. But I thought the way the Kings ran their offense and made shots last night, I thought that was a positive sign.
Oh yeah, offensively they were great. You know, they shared the ball. You mentioned earlier the shot distribution.
Yeah,
you know, everybody got good looks at it. Davion coming off the bench playing extremely well, playing 27 minutes or so. And so the offense wasn't the problem. It was they weren't able to get stops and slow down the Pelicans. Pelicans scored 30 or more points in every single quarter. You're not going to win many games giving that up.
Right.
If you know, if your defense is just letting teams score 30 to 40 every quarter.
I thought this was a positive too for the Kings. You know how they've been shooting threes, like threes. Well, you didn't make many threes. No, that's because we got to shoot more threes. Last night, points in the paint, they outscored the Pelicans 54-46. Again, I realize it didn't much matter last night, but it showed that the offense, they did find some of that diversification that we have all been shouting they needed to find.
Yeah, how about this? 41 points in the paint attempts in the paint. 38 3 attempts.
Yeah,
so I always want more paint attempts than 3 attempts. And that didn't happen the other night against OKC when they took 58 threes. And so, a little more balance yesterday. And if you do the math too, Whitey, this is what's very interesting about the Kings' shot distribution. Add up 41 and 38. That's 79. They took 84 shots. So they only took 5 mid-range shots. Shots outside of the paint, but inside the 3. And so that's, as a team, that's what you want, right? As a program. Thank you, James. Delivery of the popcorn of the day. Appreciate that. What's up, Tim? What's going on, man? How you been, baby? Must win tonight. Must win for both teams, man. Loser is looking at 9 and 10, maybe.
Tell Tim jump on. Tim Kemp.
Tim, you want to jump on? You got a minute?
Former NBA star, Suns.
Well, we're stretching out a little bit, but
using that loosely.
I appreciate it.
What's life like been? Life been like lately? You know, as you battle for the 6th seed and up and down and.
You just said it, up and down. We go to the arena every night. We don't know which Phoenix Sun team is going to show up.
You guys too, huh?
Yeah. But Tom Chambers was just telling us.
It's sometimes they're really good. We've got a number when they got 30 plus assists. I think the number is 21 and 4 now. But and the turnovers are way low when they have 30 assists. But when not, it goes right up to 16, 17 turnovers a game, giving up 27, 28 points a game. That's just too many easy buckets for the other team, because a lot of times they're those live ball turnovers, guys going down the other end and putting a layup in.
What stands out to you about the matchups, the games they've had so far between these two teams, and how does it apply tonight?
Well, I don't think much applies to. Unfortunately, you guys are shorthanded more than us. I mean, Malik Monk and Kevin Huerta being out of the lineup, that's huge. It's amazing that they've done what they've done with those guys out of the lineup because of the roles those two players had. So for us, it's a matter of coming in here and playing against ourselves. When I say that, the Suns playing against themselves and not giving those easy turnovers, taking care of the ball, making the most of opportunities, and don't go into that isolation game. Keep the ball moving.
Tim Kempty joining us. Tim, I read recently that there's been sort of a shift with you guys, more Bradley Beal on the point. Is that being overstated, or have you noticed that, and how has that impacted?
Not at all. I love when Bradley Beal and the other one who's really played extremely well this season, although he hasn't shot the ball well as of late, is Grayson Allen. When those two guys handle the ball, that means that Kevin and Devin are running off picks, catching the ball. Now they're already on the move. The defense isn't set up against them, and they're either catching and shooting in their sweet spots, or they're catching and attacking and getting better shots. Where the Suns have been really bad this year is that the top of the key, midcourt, that high pick and roll, everybody's double teaming Devin and Kevin on that, and that just jams up our offense and slows it down, and the ball doesn't move. So Bradley Beal's been phenomenal with the ball. So is Grayson Allen, and when that happens within the game, it looks better. It works better for the Suns.
Yeah, Tim Kempton, nice enough to join us, Suns analyst, former NBA player. A lot of people preseason looked at the Suns and said they don't have a point guard. You were just kind of talking about the distribution. How have they dealt with that? Is Devin Booker the de facto point guard, or in today's NBA, do you really need a point guard anymore?
Yeah, it's a great question because of what all the things we just said. Sometimes it looks really good, and sometimes it looks terrible, and it's been frustrating because the talent's there. I mean, you look at those guys, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker,
good.
Bradley Beal, you think, wow, that's pretty good. But then again, it's the same thing. How do you get into your offense? Where are the points coming from? How is the movement in the half court because of it? And again, when those guys aren't handling it, so I hope Devin's not the de facto point guard. Fine if you're bringing it up in transition, I have no problem with that with anybody. But when you do get in that situation after a made bucket, late in the game, and you're walking it up, get it in Bradley's hands, get it in Grayson's Allen's hand, get Devin and Kevin working off those baseline screens, getting into that mid-range area where they just catch and shoot and finish.
Tim, you guys signed Isaiah Thomas for the rest of the season. Obviously, we love him up here. What do you think Frank and the staff saw in IT that made them want to keep him around past the 10 days?
Well, I tell you this, I don't know if it's a common thread with all point guards, but they seem to like to talk.
Okay. All right.
and as well as I do, Isaiah Thomas has basketball IQ, and if you watch tonight during the game, you'll see him up and talking to guys as they're coming into transition, if they're coming back on defense, or if he notices something, constantly talking. So I think it's a little bit of his leadership, a little bit of his basketball IQ, and just his his veteran atmosphere on the bench at this point in the season.
Tim, I know it's kind of a cliche question. Can you speak to how the Suns have figured it out with three big stars? I noticed Bradley Beal, his shots per game is a little lower than the other two. Obviously, there's egos involved. There's expectations. To this point, how have the Suns figured that out between the three big stars, and how they're going to figure out who gets the offense?
Yeah, well, I think they've figured it out. As you mentioned, Bradley Beal, I think, for the most part, has taken a back seat almost too much. If you noticed over the last week or so, you'll see his shots have been up, and he's been more aggressive. What Bradley's been doing is waiting to the second half. He's kind of, letting Devin and Kevin get there as early.
He's only like 14 shots a game or something for the season.
Exactly.
Surprised me.
Yeah. But and then he'd come on late. He'd see what's going on, and then while the defense has been focused on Devin and Kevin late in the game, that's when he takes over. But as of late, about the last week, he's been much more aggressive to start the games. And for them, I think those guys are figuring out, okay, he's hot. No, he's hot tonight. So let him go while he's hot, and we'll just fill in other spots. And that goes, to Devin, Kevin, and Bradley, those guys understanding that they'll have to sacrifice something. And it's just a matter of how the game's going, who the opponent is, what the matchup is.
See a Bol coming out there. He's been a revelation
for you
guys lately here, huh?
Yeah, he sure has on both ends of the court. He may not be high on the block shot category, but I'll tell you what, when you see him night in and night out, he changes a lot of baskets, underneath there. He gets a little bit beat, because he plays smaller with some of the little guys he has to guard, but he always catches up from behind because of that length. He's been great shooting the ball from the three-point line, and he helps out rebounding. He definitely has made the most of his minutes, that's for sure.
Are there ways, Tim, in which you'd say the Suns have improved since the beginning of the year? And I know they have so many new parts and pieces. It takes a while to figure these things out. Are there ways in which you could say, well, they've definitely improved since the start of the season?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That is a great question because of what we started off the conversation with, of how inconsistent they've been. If they were just more consistent of doing like I said, when they pass the ball and move it, 30 plus assists, they're 21-4. So in that area, when they do it,
so
they're
you
really
see it,
good.
but just flashes
exactly.
up. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Tim Kempton joining us. Tim, switching gears just to your playing career. Nowadays, we see bigs out there stretching the floor, shooting threes, that as a big coming up. Did you want to do that back in the day?
No, it was totally different. The game was different. The way you were coached was different. I never had any inclination to go out there. It was always, working on your jump hooks, your face the basket, little shots off the glass there. getting in position that, like they say, everybody calls it the dunker position.
Spot. Yeah.
You know, get in a spot where you can catch and finish quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so totally different the way the game was laid out and how it was coached and how you played from that position for sure.
Would you say Domas is in some ways a throwback, and in any ways does he remind you of his dad?
It's kind of funny. I've got a picture on my phone. I'll show you that I was in Limoges, France, a very good team in France. I was playing his dad, who was with Real Madrid in the European Cup game. So it kind of crazy, but he definitely is a little bit of a throwback. Obviously, he can shoot it. You guys know that, but he likes staying around the basket. He likes finishing. He's a big, physical, strong guy. He rebounds the ball extremely well. The one thing that you see in his dad a lot is that passing. His dad was a little bit more flashy as a passer, but Domantas as well, very good passer, great basketball IQ.
People say that we have no idea over here how good his dad was.
Oh, in his prime,
at the end of his career.
Yeah, in his prime, and I was fortunate enough when I first came in, I went back and forth between Europe and the NBA. So I saw a lot of his dad in Europe, and it was unbelievable the stuff that he was doing in his prime, and just his athleticism and his size. Everybody talks about Wilt. Everybody, they ask me, okay, what matchup would you have liked to seen? Oscar against LeBron or Michael. I said Sabonis against Wilt.
Wow. Get out of here, Tim. Really?
Dude, could you imagine those two? I mean,
behemoths.
Behemoths that were just super athletic.
Right.
They're just unbelievable.
Pretty strong, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Tim, before we let you get out of here, gauge the mood of your team right now. You guys have been, and you talked about it, up and down, Jekyll and Hyde. You lose to an undermanned Clippers team, but then come back and get them and beat them. Like, where's the mood of this team, would you say, right now?
Well, I think it's in a good place right now because they can still control their own destiny. Win tonight, obviously we win the tiebreaker with you. We go up on 3 games with you. So that's okay. Check one team off behind us. So it's in that positive mode of, hey, let's go out there, take care of our business. We don't have to worry about anybody else. About where we stand.
Yeah. How challenging has Frank Vogel's job been this year?
Oh, unbelievable. Because you started is kind of what Mike Brown is going through now. Frank had that in the beginning of the season. At one point, we were like at 60 games or something, and the 3 of them had played a total of 9 games together. So you have these expectations of having this lineup, and then it's not there. So every given night you have to create a lineup. Now you have to change your rotation coming off behind it, who's available. So it's been a job. Frank's really had to work this year.
I guess I do want to say one quick question before I let you go, Tim, because Royce O'Neal, we were talking about him earlier and how the Kings didn't do anything at the deadline.
Yes.
You guys made some moves. How have those panned out for you? Bringing in a Royce, bringing in a Thad Young or somebody like that.
Well, obviously Royce is the biggest example of it because he's got the most playing time, and he's been phenomenal. Adding another shooter, his defense is really underrated. If you talk to guys that played against him, he's one of those guys that's like, man, that dude's country strong. You run into him,
right?
And it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's interesting. And obviously his 3-point shooting. Thad has been phenomenal in spots. He's had a couple of games where he's come in and really done exactly what everybody thinks. Swiss Army knife. He plays so many positions well. He's been really good at the backup 5 position for the Suns, just changing it up because his quickness and mobility, he does a real good job on that high pick and roll, doesn't let the guard turn the corner, and everybody runs the play.
Yeah.
But with his mobility and length, he gets out there, he stops it, but still has the quickness to get back to the big that just rolled to the basket. So both guys have been phenomenal in their moments. Royce O'Neal has gotten a lot more minutes than Thad, but Thad's been great in the times that he's been on the floor.
And Tim Kempton, do you appreciate the way the officials now seem to be allowing?
Oh, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Is it too much physicality, or do you like it? What do you think?
Here's why I don't like it. Because they've taken it to a point. You know this. Both of you guys know this. Players adjust on a dime.
Right.
So the players know they're not getting any whistles. So they've taken it to the next level. So the players have become so physical that it's not even basketball. I
said that same thing earlier.
It's
gone too far.
Exactly.
Right.
And you were a very physical player, right? So
Exactly.
you understand.
Yeah. But it was a different physicality.
Sure.
Because you and I, we have the advantage of having these monitors right in front of us and see play after play where it's like, he got ripped. He grabbed his arm. He hit him, and they didn't make the call, so the player does it again. Our physicality was more straight up, chest to chest. Hit him with a forearm.
Right.
And that's another. Now that you got me on the soapbox, that's the other thing I don't like. You have players today because there's no self-policing. Guys take it to the edge because they know they don't have to worry about it back on the other end. Because if you go back on the other end, you're going to be the one kicked out because the officials know you're escalating something because this guy got away with it on the other end. So, the officiating, the NBA, and with those basketball guys in the front office, it's like how do you not have more of a say in what's going on?
Would you also say, not to ask a leading question, that it was better when players could kind of police some of it themselves? Antonio Daniels sat here yesterday and said, I forget who somebody said the next time I did it, and he showed us, he said, my wrist hasn't been the same since because he put me down. Was it better then when players could do that?
I think so. But I think I know this is tough, and this is the old guy talking in the room. I think there was a lot more respect among players. Because I go down, I hit a guy. He goes, okay, I got you. He comes down and hits you, puts a forearm in your chest next time. You guys look at each other, go, okay, we're cool. We're good. I got you. There's none of that anymore. Guys, the players, they're all giving this too small. They're all mocking the players on the court. Because back in the day, that's a perfect example. You do that, next time you're getting cracked. You go to the basket, you're getting cracked for disrespecting the player. Hey, everybody gets dunked on. You're the best players in the world. Everybody scores on everybody in this league. And you're going to give it too small, or you're going to give a pat on the head for dunking on something. It's like, come on, man, grow up.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you very, very
You're
much.
My guy. Good luck out here.
Appreciate
you guys.
Yeah, no
You're going to take it easy on us tonight, right?
Take it easy, right? Exactly. Tell Devin Booker we're only 20 tonight. Not 40. No, that's good stuff.
Yeah, boy, he doesn't care for the new way.
No, that's how I feel. Like, and I'm glad we got him on the soapbox. It's gone too far. It's bully ball out there.
Yeah, what the Kings absolutely have to do tonight is next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Ayu. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayu is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Increasing clouds Friday evening. It'll be dry until first thing Saturday morning. Expect a few hours of rain for the first half of Saturday with some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Spring savings continue at Folsom Lake Kia. Low payments, special offers, zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockworth, Retirement Security Centers with the Weekly Economic Update. With the college basketball championships in the rearview mirror, all eyes were on the Consumer Price Index report, and the results were higher than forecast. CPI rose 3.5% in March, showing inflation to be more persistent than forecast. The CPI measures the changes in prices up or down in a given period. Housing remains a large part of the continued cost increases. Subtracting shelter inflation is actually at the Fed's target. The silver lining is that wage inflation has outpaced CPI inflation. While workers can purchase more goods, is the wage inflation creating cost headwinds for goods and services? According to Investopedia, the answer is yes. If the cost of humans in processing goods and services increases, companies charge more for these goods and services. While increased wages increase buying power, they also put pressure on supply to keep up. Increased wages can lead to demand for leisure activities, for example. Increased leisure activities can reduce the quantity of labor at any given time, which could have an effect on supply. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankoftheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer and member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors. Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House is the perfect place for a round after your round at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Got to get his family into the building, of course. So, Jay, this gives you and I a chance to circle back to something that Isaiah Thomas said when he joined us from the floor, which is a first for our show earlier today. you had a problem with his pizza choice. The pizza guy, when the pizza guy says something about pizza, sir, you know how much respect I have for you, but you don't question the pizza guy.
I got you. I understand that. I'm just saying, we're in 2024 and there's a lot of different things that you can put on top of a pizza at this moment, right? And I get, I'm not so far-fetched that we're going over the top, and I don't need to put, like, I'm not a pineapple on pizza guy. So I'm not going to go that far. Like, I don't need to be putting cans of fruit and all that type of stuff, cotton candy and all these other things. Like, you can go to Lake Tahoe and get gold flakes on your pizza at Round Table. I'm good. But just straight plain pepperoni, as my boy Drake would say, come on, big fella. You gotta get out the box, big fella.
Bro,
you're in the box.
I could eat pepperoni pizza every day. That's my
me
favorite
too.
topping.
But that's
maybe I'll throw some sausage, but pepperoni all day.
And it was Jay's question. Jay's the one that wanted to ask the pizza guy. We almost didn't get it in. And Isaiah Thomas said straight pepperoni, right?
Yep.
Jay, and then you were on your way up, and Jay said, "Oh, we got to talk about
really?
that." Yeah.
Would you like anchovies and stuff like that?
See, now here you go. You insult my intelligence because I just said I'm not putting all fish of the sea and tuna and everything on my pizza.
He said no fish of the sea.
But I'm adding a little more meat to mine, fellas. I'm a meat eater. I like to go with it, man. Yeah, throw the sausage on there, Canadian bacon, get your pepperoni flowing.
Guy.
So I'm a meat lovers guy, man. Give me that.
All right. Yeah. I don't only eat pepperoni, but if that's all I ever ate the rest of my life, pizza wise, I'd be okay with that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would go cheese before I went some of the other stuff.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. You're being disrespectful.
No, I'm saying instead of fish of the sea. Not against you. Like, I'm a Canadian bacon guy.
Okay.
I'm not a pineapple guy, but I'm a basic guy. Like when you go to the neighborhood pizza joints, they ain't got all that fancy stuff.
No, they don't.
They got sausage, pepperoni, cheese. That's it.
I think I've had pizza that someone brought, like, hey, we had this and brought it home. I think I've had pizza with pear on it.
Come on, man. They getting too fancy.
I wouldn't even eat
Gouda
that.
and pear.
Yeah, I'm not eating that, man.
It was brought home, and it's like, I didn't order. It's like, all right, I'll eat it. But I like
Give me the cheese, then.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got to keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself.
I'm proud of it. But it is true. Even places like Round Table, I like Round Table a lot, but you order anchovy, and they look at you funny. My wife and I were at, I think
you
it was
think
Bravo's.
That anchovy's fresh?
I'm sure.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. We were at, there's this place in San Francisco, Bravo's Pizza. We were in college, and we sit down, and there's this huge woman, and she's sitting down, she's making all the pizzas. She sits down and says, "What do you want?" We said, "Oh, we want anchovies." She goes, "No, you don't want it."
She said, "Nope."
Yeah.
That's up your palate.
Yeah, man.
It's not for everybody, but it's good.
Yeah, it's and I'm an old school foldable slice too. You know what I mean? I like
that. I like that.
Those like big,
and the grease comes out the back.
Get your origami on. You gotta get your origami on.
Of it on your arm. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. I like my pizza basic.
How about this? I have a friend who lived in Japan for a while, and he said they had crazy pizzas, including a pizza with squid and corn on it.
See, man, that's people trying to be extra, man. Why can't we just be simple? Why everybody got to be extra with it? Unbelievable.
So, Jay, you're saying pepperoni's okay, but you just need more meat on it.
Yeah,
so
I just need a little extra oomph to it. I mean, if I'm walking in and I'm spending my money, I'm gonna throw a few more different, ingredients on it, the ham and the sausage and all that type of stuff. But I hear what all three of you guys are saying. Look, I'm not trying to spice my life up and put everything on top of my pizza. But I mean, there are some better alternatives than just straight pepperoni.
Yeah. Well, you're right. There's multiple kinds of pepperoni.
Right.
You get the big
salami,
ones, and the little curly ones. And
Yes. Little curly ones, right?
I think that was the first pizza my dad ever gave me. I think was pepperoni pizza. So it's like, well, all right, I'm hooked.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Costco pepperoni pizza is pretty busted.
Love it.
Too.
Is it?
Yeah, it's good.
Love it.
Costco pizza ain't no joke.
Is that a Kirkland pizza?
Yeah.
It is. I feel like
is Kirkland, man. Everything is Kirkland. That's their signature brand, Kirkland pizza, and they got the frozen kind too. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure it's pretty good, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again for getting Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were working on that for a long, long time. As for tonight, are you with me on this? What the Kings have to do tonight. They got to come out, of course, and they got to play with their backs against the wall, maybe touch somebody up. And especially now because like Tim Kempton said, they might not even call it.
Nah, Whitey, that ship has sailed. And I was thinking about this driving in. Because we always talk, you got to be physical.
See, I thought you'd be with me on that.
No, I'm resigned to the fact that's not who we are. That's the problem. I'm resigned to the fact that's not who we are, And so I'm okay with that. Like, I need them to just execute at a high level. I need them to bring their A-game execution. Who are you going to touch up? Kevin Durant? Devin Booker? Now,
Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant?
Now, I'm okay with responding if those two, if Nurkic starts talking some trash or something, but I don't think, it reminds me of LeBron when he first went to the Miami Heat. And he tried to play the role of villain. Mm-hmm. It didn't work out. So don't be something you're not.
Well, I don't think if Trey Lyles is down there and Durant, somebody comes soaring in, and Trey Lyles just touches him up a little bit, gives him a hard foul, I don't think that's out of character for the Kings tonight.
You don't think so?
No, depending on the circumstance.
Like somebody coming in the paint.
Because
it's a playoff kind of game tonight.
Yeah.
All right. But don't let it get you out of what you do.
Well, that's a great point.
That's the thing. You're so busy trying to send a message about physicality and all this that you forget to be who you are.
Domas doesn't really do that, does he?
No, he doesn't. He just plays physical.
Alex Len will do it.
Alex Len might, yeah. Trey Lyles,
like Phoenix Sun, revenge game.
Revenge game. Trey Lyles, like you said, as well. But I feel like our guys got to be, pushed that way. Like, we aren't the instigators usually. Usually we respond if somebody takes it to that level.
I do feel that tonight, like last night, to me, it's more about executing than emotion. You have to bring the necessary level of intensity. That's a given, as we said. But you have to, when you're shorthanded, you have to execute. You're not going to win by, but you are going to win if you take care of the ball and make your shots and run your offense.
Right. It sort of reminds me, and I said this back when we played Dallas, LeBron, Game 6, 2012 against the Celtics. No smiling, no high-fiving, no feeling good or anything. Like, it's a work trip. Come out there with the appropriate amount of focus. Like you're about your business. I think it's a mentality, the body language I want to see, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, pardon me. I think the Kings need, this isn't really something you can plan for, but they need somebody to go off tonight. Somebody to have a big night where, somebody's scoring 30 and the fans are getting into it, like Keegan having a big night, something where the fans are really getting behind it. So that you give the fans who've already been doing more than can be expected of them, give them a chance to give this team a lift.
Yes. I'm with you, man. And, here's the thing. We know I feel comfortable in Domas and De'Aaron Fox tonight. I feel comfortable.
Yes.
To your point, it would be nice if Keegan comes out.
Yeah.
He's warming up right now. Comes out, drops 28 tonight.
Yeah.
I thought Harrison Barnes last night tried his best.
Yep.
He tried to
He had a really good game.
Right, exactly.
I tried to tell you, yes.
Exactly. You know what we need too, Whitey? We need a game where everybody's clicking.
That would,
that's what I don't want to look at Mike Brown and see him looking down the bench trying to figure out who should I put in now.
Well, he was unhappy with Keon last night at one point.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
He's like, Keon.
And he must have missed a rotation or something.
Yeah.
Then Barbosa was talking to him.
Yeah. Mike doesn't play, and that's when he's going to get mad at you, right? Outside of not taking shots, but if you have a defensive miscue or a defensive lapse or something, he's going to call you out on that.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've had so many great guests on today. I mean, I'm hoping we can get. Have you heard of Henry Turner?
He right. No wonder it was all nice and sunny, and then High Flyer came up. It's like a big gloomy shadow over me, like ominous music and everything. He coming in trying to Debo.
Bet you HT like meat lovers.
Oh, we'll find that out.
Yeah,
we'll find that out.
Hopefully, we're hanging with the High Flyers. We wrap things up from the Golden One next year. Drive, guys, on this special Friday.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Increasing clouds Friday evening. It'll be dry until first thing Saturday morning. Expect a few hours of rain for the first half of Saturday with some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through April 23rd, get a $15 gift card when you buy 5 or more quarts of Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H-test versus API SP test limits.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now you've heard me talk about my amazing experience with them when I got my new EQS. I tell everybody I know, their dedication to every customer is incredible. Whether it's by text or call, they are available whenever I need them. And they're also a major Mercedes commercial van sales and service center as well. So if you're a biz owner with a vehicle fleet, Mercedes-Benz vans are a smart business move. They're rugged, sophisticated cargo haulers that qualify for very generous tax breaks. And it is a Benz. Your drivers will love it, and your company will look great. Sprinters are available at rates starting at 4.9% APR, so go take a tour of the gorgeous new Mercedes-Benz of Stockton showroom, a half hour from SAC, right off of I-5 at the 8 Mile Road exit, or online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans and will help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Too much show, not enough time. High Flyer is joining us here, and he's got word of a special guest he's going to have on game night. First, Jay says we got to bring on the one and only TC. TC joins us on Sactown Sports. Stop. Check it with TC. What's up, TC?
Yes, sir. Check it. Man, Jay, my boy Drake's and Whitey, what's going on?
And the High Flyers with you as well, TC.
Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, my bad, High Flyer. What's up, bro?
All good, bro.
Hey, check it out. Check it out. Hey, look, this is what I got with the Kings. Hey, as far as Kings fans, media, everybody, listen, we got to get it how we got to get it. We put ourselves in this position, so we got to get it out the mud. Check it out. We got to go with the plan and make big noise. Hey, that's ridiculous, man, as far as all the Kings fans and everybody trying to turn their back. Look, it could be worse than it is right now. I'm going to tell y'all, check this out. We could be in the 12th or the 13th seed talking about, man, I wish we could have a game. I wish we could have a play-in game. Listen, man, this is the second full year of this rebuild. Mike ain't going nowhere. Monty ain't going nowhere. What we can say is moves have to be made this summer. And we'll find that out after this playoffs, and we know what type of moves we have to make. As far as moves, yes, they have to be made. As far as people being fired, ain't nobody being fired, bro. Them dudes turn this organization around, man, and set us up on our, on our 10 toes. So we got to respect that as Kings fans, man. Y'all leave Drake alone, man. Drake was a sack king, bro. Period. Drake ain't got nothing to do with none of that. If you a real Kings fan and you've been through all this, I can't talk about the OGs, y'all, Henry, Whitey. Look, y'all listen, y'all been doing this, y'all been around, but check it out. As far as Kings fans, bro, respect what's going on, dog. It's gonna get better. I know it's been shaky, but it's gonna get better, dog. Domars, be dominant. Fox, be dominant. We're gonna get it out the mud, y'all. That's all I got. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right, guy TC, you hear what I'm saying? High Flyer? Everybody all negative and everything. Nah, man, our boys ain't going nowhere.
Let's go, Sacramento.
I love it. I love the optimism. I'm with it. But we can preach, we can rally the troops, we can do all of that, and we do. But it's all about those guys in between the lines.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
How bad do they want it? Watching them come out yesterday, the beginning of the game, I was shocked.
Mike Brown said that was a one time when they didn't really.
I was shocked.
Why? What happened there?
KD,
Pelicans punch him and
KD. I was shocked, bro. I mean, it was from the beginning. I would have thought, desperation would have been there from the beginning. And honestly, they came out like it was just another game.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm sorry. These games are not regular season games. At this particular point, they're not. You need to be in playoff mode right now.
Yeah.
You need to be in eye of the tiger mode right now.
I agree with you, man. And Kevin Garnett said that too. He tweeted that out. God, these are playoff games we're talking about. Does it concern you? The Mavericks games last night, all these big games, and I feel like time and time again, we're saying they didn't get up or they felt like it was one of 82. Is that concerning? Like, is that a problem that needs to be addressed going forward with this team and with this roster?
If you're trying to make that next play,
yeah,
yes, all of that needs to be addressed because KD, it's going to take all of that to get you to where you need to go. Think about who we playing against. We don't have a big three, bro.
Right.
We don't have that. We don't have, 4 first ballot Hall of Famers. We don't have a 2-time, probably going to be 3-time MVP. We don't have that. We don't have a 4-time championship squad. We don't have that either. So we have to give extra, and everything that we give extra has to come from the heart.
Right.
Speaking of that caliber of player, who do you guys have on joining you here on game night tonight?
Oh, man, the one and only. You know what? I say this, and I truly mean it, but, it was before him, but I always say Sacramento Kings basketball, as the purists know it, it's ended and it started with this one dude.
Yeah.
And that's the pretty face, pretty smiling, number 4, Chris Webber.
C-Web coming up.
Sacramento Kings basketball as we know it. As all the fans love this purple, it started with C-Web and it ended with C-Web.
Let me ask you this. Take me back then. You guys were around. What was the franchise like beforehand? What was the level of success? Were they battling for playoffs? And what did C-Web bring that made it change?
My last year here was our first year we made it to the playoffs. We made it against Seattle. And that was our first breakthrough ever.
Right?
Yeah, that was our first 95, 96. That was our first breakthrough ever. And Mitch Richmond broke his back getting us there.
Yeah.
I mean, we rode Mitch like like old farm mule. He got us there. And then I left that next year. And then, Mitch Richmond turned into Chris Webber.
Right. Yep.
And it's funny how all of that came together because at the very beginning, KD, Chris didn't want to be here. Chris did not want to come to Sacramento.
I think of that every time I fly into Sac Metro. I think of Chris or Sac International. Chris Webber supposedly seeing all the fields, and he was very emotional as he flew into Sacramento. Like, I don't want to be here.
He didn't want to be here, but he came here, man. This was the best thing that happened to Chris because he had a bunch of things to go on in Golden State. He had a bunch of stuff go on in Washington, and a lot of people had questioned, what was Chris Webber going to be? Is he going to be a Hall of Fame guy, or is he going to be a guy that's going to be a troublesome type cat? And he came here, bro, and turned everything around. I honestly think that once Chris Webber got here, he seen what was going on, felt this city, felt this community, and said, you know what? I can make a difference here. And he did, man. I mean, he really did. Between him and that white chocolate, man, I'm telling you.
And I know he wasn't as good, but Vlade too, because the thing is, we saw this team here, and it took them a while to get going in that strike shortened year, lockout shortened year. They not only were they a good team, but they passed the ball so well. It was beautiful to watch. It's like, man, they're good and they're really fun to watch.
That's the thing. It was like, Webb came, and then Jason came, and then I want to say probably like Vlade came.
It was all the same year.
Yeah. Peja had got drafted. He had came through the door, and they had a couple of other guys.
They brought in John Barry and Vernon Maxwell. Hoping maybe one of these guys would be good, and they were both good.
Jimmy Jackson was around that particular time. I mean, just to watch these guys. Oh man, it was nice. I mean, it was fun. Big Nasty was on the squad.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it was fun to watch. Before, it was just basketball. When I was on the squad, it was just, okay, we got a hard-working team.
Oh, real blue collar.
Yeah,
Rudy and those guys.
We are blue collar. We have to work hard to win. When Webb and those other guys came, they were blue collar, but they had flash. They had flair.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Webber brought that Michigan to Sacramento. Everything that the Fab Five had, Webb brought it in the door.
Yeah, you guys are going to talk to Chris Webber coming up at the top of the hour. See Webb in town all this weekend. When you look at those great Kings teams, we could talk about Webber, we could talk about Vlade, Peja, but the sum of the parts was greater than the individuals. They were all great, but they all fit together. What's this team missing that we're watching now? Our Sacramento Kings, how do they get formed like Voltron, if you will, and achieve something greater than the sum of the individual parts?
Well, first of all, here's the deal, KD. Everybody on that 2000 team knew their role. Nobody played outside of their role. We knew that Doug Christie was the point guard. Mike Bibby never did play point. Mike Bibby was always off the ball. Doug Christie handled the ball,
and Webber
more than anything else.
Through Webber a lot too,
and it went through Webb a lot too. And then when it didn't go through Webb, it went through Brad Miller.
Yeah,
Peja. They set up Peja so good, and Peja and Doug's chemistry, man, was just like uncannily right. And then Webber and Vlade played very well together,
the
right?
Interior pass.
So that was the starting five.
And then a guy like Pollard, and he had a limited role, and he was fine with it.
Scott Pollard knew what he had to do. Scott Pollard came in and brought wood. That's what he did. He came in and he fouled guys. He fouled the hell out of them. That was his job, And then when you brought Bobby Jackson in off the bench, they knew B-Jack was coming in to be Vinny Microwave number 2 to light it up. Darius Singala.
Oh man.
Hey, they had guys who knew their roles, and they came in and they played extremely well. At that particular point, the Sacramento Kings bench played well as anybody starting five.
Yeah, the bench mob, the original bench mob.
Right.
So High Flyer has C-Web coming up right here on Sactown Sports. And then you guys also have C-Web.
Yeah, we got
right?
C-Web at 7 o'clock on the Kings pregame live on the TV version.
All right.
Up on NBC, yeah.
Drapes, thanks for lining us up with Isaiah Thomas. That was unforgettable.
IT.
Yeah.
Now you chopped it up with IT.
IT is my dude, man. Hey, I was riding with IT when IT didn't even think he was going to make the squad. I'm like, young fella, keep grinding. He was like, man, that's the only thing I know how to do. He was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
And he came here, man, and nobody thought that dude was going to make it. And, man, he's the poster child of, you know what? You don't have to be a giant to play this game. You just have to have the heart of play.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Enjoy the game tonight. Absolutely. Yeah, stick around for game night with
Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding